done, done. Why can't we not be sober? I just wanna start this over. Why can't we dream forever? I just wanna start things over. I am just a worthless liar, I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you, trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you, I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you, just enough to bring you down. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something but the past and done, and done. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something but the past and done, done, and done. Why can't we not be sober? I just wanna start this over. Why can't we dream forever? I just wanna start things over. I am just a worthless liar, I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you, trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you, I will chew it up and leave. I am just a worthless liar, I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you, trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you, I will chew it up and leave. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Why can't we not be sober? I just wanna start things over. Why can't we sleep forever? I just wanna start this over. I want what I want, I want what I want, I want what I want, I want what I want.
Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop. They're doing something unholy. He like it, yeah. He like it, yeah. He like it, yeah. He like it, yeah. Lucky, lucky girl, she got married to a boy like you. She'd kick you out if she ever knew about all the you tell me that you do. Dirty, dirty boy, you know everyone is talking on the scene. I hear them whispering about the places that you've been and how you don't know how to keep your business clean. Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy. He sat back while she's dropping it, she be popping it, yeah, she put it down slowly. Oh, he left his kids at oh, so he can get that. Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy.
Daddy, daddy, if you want it, drop the addy. Give me love, give me Fendi, my Balenciaga. Daddy, you gon' need to back it up, cause I'm spending all my day, yo. You can watch me back it up, I'll be gone in the AM. He give me Prada, give me Miu like Rihanna. He always call me cause I never cause no drama. And when you want it, baby, know I got you covered. And when you need it, baby, just jump under the covers.
Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at the body shop, doing something unholy. He sat back while she's dropping it, she be popping it, yeah, she put it down slowly. Oh, he left his kids at oh, so he can get that. Mommy don't know Daddy's getting hot at something I'm only.
Change everything you are and everything you were. Your number has been called. Fights and battles have begun. Revenge will surely come. Your hard times are ahead. Best, you've got to be the best. You've got to change the world and use this chance to be heard. Your time is now.
Time is now.
Change everything you are and everything you were. Your number has been called. Fights and battles have begun. Revenge will surely come. Your hard times are ahead. Best, you've got to be the best. You've got to change the world and use this chance to be heard. Your time is now.
Time is now.
See rock shows near Tampa. Get tickets as low as $20,000. You might also like Napa, the problem that news time is running out. Falling away with you. Don't let yourself down. Don't let yourself go. Your last chance has arrived. Best, you've got to be the best. You've got to change the world and use this chance to be heard. Your time is now.
Time is now. Don't let yourself down. Don't let.
How did it start? Well, I don't know. I just feel the craving. I see the flesh and it smells fresh and it's just there for the taking. These little girls, they make me feel so goddamn exhilarated. I fill them up, I can't give it up. The pain that I'm just erasing. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. So I run away and you still stay. So what the f is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but break them. I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside hurts me. All I wanna do is get with you and make the pain go away. Why do I have a conscience? All it does is with me. Why do I have this torment? All I wanna do is get away. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. So I run away and you still stay. So what the is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but break them. And I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside is constantly hating. I'm sorry, I just throw you away. I tell my lies and I despise every second I'm with you. And I run away and you still stay. So what the is with you? Your feelings, I can't help but break them. I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. My heart inside is constantly hating. I'm sorry, I just throw you away. Just throw you away. Just throw you away. Just throw you away.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling, so I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling, but there's one thing I know: the blues they sent to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free, nothing's worrying me.
I was sick and tired of everything when I called you last night from Glasgow. All I do is eat and sleep and sing. Wishing every show was the last show. So imagine I was glad to hear you're coming. Suddenly I feel alright. And it's gonna be so different when I'm on the stage tonight. Tonight the Super Trooper lights are gonna...
Welcome, my friends, to XboxEra. If you're new here, let me fill you in. XboxEra is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of XboxEra. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. XboxEra is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to XboxEra to another level. Crowd56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only XboxEra's CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content XboxEra produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/XboxEra, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 247 of the XboxEra podcast. We are here to discuss all the latest in gaming from across the industry. Overall, and especially this week, we're focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. Big shout outs to all our wonderful Patreon community, but particularly our MVPs, executive producers, and especially our grand benefactors, Crowd56 and Assassin. And of course, we can't not love our wonderful CEO, Torn Raptor. As always, I'm joined by the wonderful Special Nick. What's going on? The lovely Jesse.
Why, hello.
And at long last, the legendary Parris Lilly is here. Welcome to the show, my friend.
I don't know about legendary, but thank you so much for having me on here. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I'm very happy to get the invite and be here.
It's good, and you've rolled out the correct chair for the audience.
Yes, wait.
Just leaning into it. I love it. All right, this is a good start. It's a good start. It is. I mean, I say legendary. You've been in the industry, you know, from my perspective. We started XboxEra 6 years ago. You were rocking around then, and you've gone from strength to strength. And we're going to talk a little bit about that before we get into things, because it's nice to have a guest on, and we want to know what's what. So just quickly, housekeeping. Hello, chat. Lovely to see everybody. It's been a week of wonderful video game stuff, and we're going to dig into it, so fret not. But before that, I've always wanted to know, Parris, because I look at your breadth of work. You've done presentations for Xbox shows. You've been on Kind of Funny as a regular participant for quite a while. You hosted with Snowbike Mike the Xbox show. I know that's kind of like been merged all into one kind of show now.
Blame Tim.
And well, hey, Microsoft are doing it. You know, you guys are just going along with the flow. They're merging things.
Yeah.
But you've done all of these different things, and yet somehow I look at your Twitter feed and you've got a full-time day job. How are you pulling this off? Because I had to quit mine to be able to keep up.
I mean, honestly, it's lack of sleep. I mean, that's a lot of it has to do with, I do have a full-time job, but I am lucky enough that I'm able to work from home. I work in cybersecurity, information, infosec, and I don't always 100% have to be doing something, all the time, as far as my job goes. It's like when there's something to get done, that is my focus. So when I do have free time, I'll do gaming stuff, try and fit it in where I can. And I've just been lucky that I've had a great support system around me over the years to be able to do it. And like I said, I can get by on about 4 hours of sleep, so that helps too.
Man, I'm finding the older I get, I can't do that anymore. It kills me if I don't get like at least 7 hours, or I just turn into a grumpy bastard. But this, too old. But this year, in fact, this week, you celebrated 20 years of Gamertag Radio with your longtime partner in crime, Danny Pena. Congrats to you guys, because I remember being like, I don't know, 25 and hearing about Gamertag Radio. 25 for me was a long time ago. Right? And it's like, holy crap, like 20 years, that is one hell of a milestone. How did you and Danny meet? How did Gamertag Radio start? That's where I want to start.
Okay, so first and foremost, the 20 years, I give all that credit to Danny Pena, to Godfrey, and his brother, Nano, because they started Gamertag Radio 20 years ago. I was just a listener like anyone else.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know this. This is brand new information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll give you the whole story then. So I remember when Gamertag Radio started because I was on the Team Xbox forums back then, and he used to go spam the Team Xbox forums about this gaming show that he's doing. I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know what, I'm like, I'm not listening to that. And then he got the scoop with PMS Clan, and God, I forget the other person's name, but when they taped the Xbox 360 reveal in Hollywood, he got them on and basically spilled the beans on Perfect Dark, the reveal, everything, right? So much so, I think it was Trixie at the time, but Trixie had to reach out to him privately. It might have been Trixie or Major Nelson, reached out to him like, you got to take that down, because he was literally spoiling the show because it was pre-taped. And I remember he had posted on Team Xbox, and I listened to it. So I heard the whole thing before it got taken down. So then that got me interested in like, I'm going to listen to Gamertag Radio. So I'm listening to Gamertag Radio, and I was listening to dreamstation.cc at the time. Oh my God. I would listen to them while I go on a walk or do whatever. Right. And I'll never forget, this was in early 06. Because Chris Palladino was a host of dreamstation.cc. I see a video, it was on 10.net back then. It was Laura Foy was hosting it, pretty sure. And she had Danny and Chris on. They were in Redmond at some Lord of the Rings event or something. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I listen to these guys. That's you awesome. Mean to tell me you get to go to Xbox because you talk about video games? I want to do that too. So a friend of mine at the time, you were like, hey, let's try and see if we can do this gaming podcast thing. And I was like, I'm going to email Danny and Chris. So I emailed them. Hey, I'm looking to try and start a gaming podcast. You have any tips or anything that you can help me with? So Chris got back to me right away. And literally like on a Saturday morning, we hopped on Skype, and he walked me through all the tools you needed to edit, like microphone, like all these things, right? I hear from Danny about 3 weeks later, and then he basically gave me the same advice. And I started my little podcast called Uncle Gamer Radio. I think it was like June or July of 06, something like that. And I was doing that. And I actually got lucky enough that I went to the Gears of War launch event in Hollywood. This is the Wild Wild West back then. It was like there were no rules, anything.
Roof babes galore.
Yeah. So I just remember that event specifically because that was the first time I met Luke Smith when he was still at 1UP. Because remember, 1UP Yours was a thing. All
Luke
that
Smith went on to Bungie, right?
Yep. Went to Bungie, and then first for Halo, and then obviously wound up leading Destiny. But that was like my first like quote unquote industry contact that I'd ever met at the time. and became friends with him. Like I said, Chris Palladino, who had helped me at Dream Station, he wound up taking a job at Xbox. He was working Gamerscore blog at this time.
I remember that. God, you're bringing back all these memories from 20 years is a long time. Like,
I know, man.
It's 5 years off of the Xbox existing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like
such early days. So I bring all that up to say, because I know Chris, and Chris is just starting in his job. His first big community event, because they don't really do those anymore, was for Crackdown.
Good guy.
And
Nick's favorite.
He invited me up to Redmond, and this is, I don't know, March 07, something like that, up to Redmond, excuse me, to go see Crackdown 3. And remember, the big tag with Crackdown at the time was the Halo 3 multiplayer beta. I actually still have like a photos of that shirt and the whole thing. It's weird. Anyways, I got to go up to Redmond and go to Xbox. I have no business being there. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I printed up these ridiculous business cards. I don't know what I'm doing, but excuse me again. Still getting over this cold.
It's all good. It's all good. So it's a calm place.
Yeah. But I go to Redmond. I meet Major Nelson. There's a video of me playing Guitar Hero really bad that's still online floating around at that event. So I met Major Nelson. That's back when E was still heading up Xbox Live and running all that stuff. Got to meet him, got a tour of Xbox Live, like all this stuff, to the Xbox campus at the time, all these things. And I met Trixie, all that at that time. So I started knowing some people at Xbox as a result. Did that event. Next thing I know, and Danny's not there. This is, again, I bring Danny back in this. He's not even at this event. And he was so ingrained into everything that they were doing community-wise, his name kept constantly coming up, and he's not even there. And I just remember telling him, because, we're somewhat friends at this point, and I remember telling him, like, dude, they just keep talking about you, all this stuff. So long story short, and I'll fast forward this, Danny and I became like really good friends. So later that year in 07, I had hustled my way into seeing Modern Warfare. I went up to Infinity Ward because it was here in Lower. Like, again, I have no business being at this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I just found out and they invited me to go. So I was one of the first people in the world to see Modern Warfare, the multiplayer. We didn't get hands-on. They just showed it to us. But then later on, they had this big Hollywood event as the official reveal. Danny comes to that. I mean, all these Activision PR people, all that. So Danny and I kind of start really becoming friends at this point. There was a Medal of Honor event, again, in LA at EA LA. He's there, I'm there. We start recording podcasts. So at this point, we're starting to collaborate and do stuff together. E307's that year, Santa Monica, the hotels, all that stuff. And again, Danny's a madman. We're at a Windows for, gaming for Windows party, right? Outside, at the hotel. Yeah.
Gaming for Windows.
You're supposed to be there to, hey, relax, have a drink, have fun. Danny has his recording equipment and he's interviewing Cliff Bleszinski and Shane Kim and Peter Moore and all these people at this event. And because if you look at, there's pictures online, you'll see me in the background just standing there looking all angry, like I want to kill somebody. But I'm seeing his work ethic at that time. For him, it was always about get the interview, do the thing. So I'm helping him at E3 that year, doing all this. He's encouraging me. He's like, look, bro, you got to go to these events, get the face-to-face stuff, meet these people. Don't be afraid to talk to them. So I went straight up to Ken Levine and talked to him.
Legend.
Wind up getting to see the BioShock demo and all that. I wound up getting an interview with Ken Levine. That was like my first big interview.
Damn.
And I remember Danny was encouraging me. He was like, bro, you got to say it's exclusive. Nobody else has this. You got to say it's exclusive. So I'm doing all that. So again, fast forward all this stuff. Danny and I collaborated a lot, always helping each other out with stuff. I'd help him Gamertag Radio stuff. He helped me with stuff with Uncle Gamer, to the point where my co-host at the time on Uncle Gamer took a job with EA. So he was leaving and it just wasn't fun for me anymore. And I'm thinking this is like 2011. And I'm like, I've done it all. I'm good. I've seen it all. Cause at this point I've been going to E3s. I've gotten these, like I interviewed Casey Hudson for Mass Effect 2, stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm going to retire. So I was done.
E3 will be around
And-
forever. It's never going to change.
Yeah. And this was like October of 2011, I want to say. And I'd stopped. I was like, I'm not going to do it anymore. Fast forward, and Danny and I and Pete and Mandy, we're all friends. So I'm still friends with all of them. We talk all the time. And then BioShock Infinite came out early 2013. Again, I'm just a fan. I just want to play it. So they had me come on Gamertag Radio. So I guess this has been like March of 2013. They had me come on Gamertag Radio just to talk about it. That was it. And then the feedback that they got was so well, like, oh, he's really good on there. You should have him on more. Pete calls me on the phone one day and was like, hey, how would you like to join Gamertag Radio full time? I said, no, I'm good. I don't think I want to do that. That's too much commitment. I'm not sure I can do it. And somehow, some way they talked me into it. And I go, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Been on ever since.
Wow.
Right? Never left at that point. Yeah.
That's kind of blown my mind a little bit because I guess I have to apologize to Danny's brother, right? Because like I've heard him on there sometimes.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened. Obviously, I can't, like if you run your own podcast, it's really hard to listen to everybody's podcast, frankly. But you just assume you've become like part of the furniture of that show. That I don't know if anybody else didn't know this, but like I just assumed you've been there from the very beginning.
No, but see, that's why I was kind of saying we would always collaborate. So it wasn't foreign that even though I wasn't officially a part of Gamertag Radio, you'd hear me on there from time to time, doing stuff over the years. But 2013 is when I officially joined. And then the irony of that is then you get to that E3 2014, obviously E3 2013, I mean, with the Xbox One, PS4 event, I'm helping them with that. But then we go to 2014 the next year. That's the first time we talked to Phil Spencer because he had taken over.
And
he's
been on 3 times now.
Yep. 2014, 2020, and then just yesterday here in 2025. Yeah. And the irony with Phil, I think I said it on the interview too. The first words out of my mouth was, "Yeah, I don't like Connect."
Yeah.
That's the first thing I say to him, and I look back at that now and I go, "Why did you say that?" But hey, it is what it is.
It's interesting to me the parallels in many respects of like how we started to how you guys started, because what we've very much learned over the last 6 years is it's not necessarily what you do, it's a lot of the times who you know.
Yeah,
it's
it really is.
cultivating those relationships and building.
Never burn a bridge. There is no
never
benefit.
burn a bridge. Basically,
everyone talks. Everybody talks. The moment you piss off,
this industry is way smaller than you think.
Yeah,
absolutely, and like. Not everyone is in the same place. Like it's funny taking it all the way back to those days in like 2007. I still know people in the industry from back then. They may not necessarily be in the same position they were then. They might be even at a different company now, but that's how far some of the relationships that I have go back. And it's to your point, not burning bridges, treat people with respect. That's where it goes a long way. And I think for me, the thing that I've learned over the time is, and I think some people that, will watch the show or comment on social media don't understand is, like, and I'm sure we'll get into the Phil interview and all that stuff. I've seen a lot of comments about you only ask softball questions. Like, no, you respect the title. You respect the title. You respect the man, and you ask questions that he can answer. Correct. Let's not waste time with the limited amount of time we have. Don't ask things he can't answer because you're just wasting time at that point, and just be respectful of it. So I know I'm not going to sit there and grill Phil Spencer over and over again about the same thing when he's answered it, because he's going to give me the same answer every time I ask it. So that's just pointless when it comes to stuff like that. And again, like you said, it's about relationships. Just treat people with respect, and it's returned. To me, it's as simple as that. So, as the next generation of content creators come up, that would be my number one piece of advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's good advice as well. I look back at the journey we've gone on, and we faced similar hurdles. We've made mistakes. We've got things wrong. We've gone too soon. Some of them in hindsight, we were like, no, we were kind of right, but like we didn't perhaps follow the right way to do it and stuff like that. But I think what certainly my impression is, at least from the people that we have got relationships with, is over time they understand that it's all, even if mistakes have been made, they've all come from a good place. And then we're still friends.
We still didn't get Phil on this weekend.
We haven't got Phil on this
John
weekend. People blame me for some reason. I don't know why I cop in this. You know,
We'll go back to last February.
Hey, I met you this year at the showcase, and
I was
saw
dead as well. Did I give you COVID? Apologies if so.
No, actually, I skated that one. I didn't get sick from that one. But I was just saying, I saw you talking to Phil and everybody. They all know you. They love you.
Yeah. We caught up at the. But that was my first time. That's the first time I've ever been to Los Angeles. And may I say, on behalf of the UK, we've got some bad places, but that is a terrible city, and I hated it. Sorry, Los Angeles residents, but like there are nice parts, but that was what was so shocking to me. I was like downtown LA.
Might not be the time to talk shit about LA.
Yeah, I know. They've gone through a rough time, but like I did not like that downtown area. It felt very like scary, frankly.
I as someone who lives in Southern California, there's a reason I don't live in Los Angeles. I'll just leave it at that.
Everyone I know that lives near there, they say there's a reason they just hate when they have to go in the city.
Well, mine is number one is traffic. And the downtown is chaos, but traffic is insanity in Los Angeles. It doesn't make sense. I hate it. Like you'll see me whenever I go to an event and I'll tweet from my car or something with a picture and I go, I hate this. I say it every time because it's outrageous.
Well, it's funny.
It was the poverty for me.
And they haven't realized highways, the bigger you make them, the worse traffic gets. And they don't seem to get that.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah,
we have a super chat for Parris.
Go for it.
Yeah, we have a super chat. I didn't want it to get lost. That's all. Brandon Martin with a super chat. Hey Parris, great interview with Phil. You did a fantastic job. If I donate $50, will you dance Parris like Alex does on his streams?
No.
No.
And that's someone that I look forward to the day we get to meet in person because Alex is a character and he's become somewhat a friend over the years. But I'm not taking. Well, now he puts on the banana suit, but I'm not taking off my shirt and dancing for $50. That's all.
He's very jealous of my looks, though, Alex. Very jealous.
Plus, after YouTube AdSense, it's like $22 or something most of the time. So,
yeah. Oh man. Right. So. That's a little bit about how you got into the industry, and it's fascinating to me because it has so many parallels. But we're here now. Yesterday, you got the pleasure of chatting with Phil. So we want to talk about the developer direct, all the games, but Phil, we know he's on Destin's show, but Destin's show is locked unless you're a Patreon member for Destin's channel. Congrats to him on that move, by the way. But you guys, Gamertag Radio, you just put it out there for everybody to enjoy, which is cool. I like it. Lots of interesting stuff. So I'm going to, we could go through it bit by bit, but I want to talk about one main topic and I want the chat to brace themselves, right? Because I'm going to put it this way and see what your take is. And then maybe we can go around and other folks can interject. It's time to pull the Band-Aid off, kiddos. All right. It's time to just get it over with. For Microsoft now, the Xbox is to Surface, right, in terms of operating system. So I think of it now as Surface is their premium product to demonstrate their operating system for PC, and the Xbox is going to be the premium operating system to demonstrate the Xbox OS as whatever form factor it will take in the future. So when people talk about hardware, in my mind now, I'm like, just get your hat on and think, well, they do hardware for PC, and PCs can be made by anybody, and they sell just fine. So why not? Now, do you agree? Do you disagree? What's people's takes?
I think you're spot on. I think that's exactly what's about to happen. I mean, whether we like it or not, I think that's the approach. And if you go to what Phil even said in an interview and just kind of put the puzzle pieces together over the past, calendar year of what he said and what Sarah Bond has said, even Matt Booty too, they're clearly, and even I'll pull Jason Ronald into this as well, because he obviously just talked about this at CES. They're going to have a custom OS similar to Steam OS. It just makes sense. You own Windows, and he emphasized yesterday about how we have the subject matter experts already that are very familiar with Windows and how to customize it and do all that. I've seen some iterations, because I went to a couple Surface events last year, and they were kind of demoing some things that they're starting to do, to make handhelds more accessible with the Windows OS. But even if you go by what Jason Ronald just said at CES, as brief as it was, they're taking that to another level. I think what Valve was able to do with SteamOS just makes sense. That give us a very simplified UI at the surface, and lack of, pun intended, I guess. But if I need to go to desktop mode and treat it like a PC, I can do that as well. And if I want to load in another digital store, because it's an open platform, I can do that as well. But I'm going to deliver the quote unquote Xbox experience to you on this piece of hardware. And it just makes into your Surface analogy. Yeah, the Xbox is going to become the Surface.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a Surface, but they still make it. Like, if anything, I think what Microsoft gives as their Xbox hardware is just reference hardware now. So if Lenovo wants to make one, if Asus wants to make
That's
one,
what I
MSI,
picture.
yeah, whoever, Samsung, whatever. That's where they're headed. And I think the key word that he put in all of that is, we got to do something innovative that you still, because I asked him, why would I still want to buy an Xbox if I can go play these games somewhere else? You got to do something innovative enough that I want to choose your hardware. Now, I think it's realistic to think it's not going to sell even as well as the current Series X or anything is going to sell, but they'll still make it for people that want it. And people that don't want it or need it, they can build a PC. They can go play those games on PlayStation or the LG TV or whatever they're going to do. I think the most fascinating thing that they'll make is going to be that handheld. What are they going to do with that handheld that differentiates itself from what Lenovo's doing or MSI or whoever with their handhelds? And again, this is where, bringing it full circle, I think you're going to see a custom Windows Xbox OS that's going to power all this stuff.
It's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick? How are you feeling about this new world? Because
you
the
all
Band-Aid's
know how I
off now,
feel
right?
about it.
People just need to get over this and have a
I
conversation.
also
about something.
would like to ban saying Band-Aid ripped off.
Okay.
Straight
All right,
up.
I'm just coining the phrase because everyone's using it.
I know, that's why we have to ban it to be better than
Face
everyone
the
else.
music. How's that? Do you want to face the music?
Adjust to the
Do
times.
you want to deal with reality?
Yeah.
Anything that shatters this notion that console wars actually ever mattered.
It's but it's not. It's a bit dismissive to just automatically write it off as console wars all the time. That is somewhat
I know, I'm being
dismissive.
facetious.
Whether people like it or not, a lot of people have an attachment to consoles. All of us grew up with consoles, whether that was a Sega console, whether that was a Nintendo console, or a PlayStation or Xbox console. So people naturally have an attachment to those things. That's what nostalgia is built on. Now, the issue that most people have with this strategy isn't, again, I don't think anyone has a problem with Xbox everywhere. I don't have a problem with Xbox everywhere. I love the idea of being able to play Xbox games wherever I'd like to play Xbox games, because as I get older and older, lugging a literal Xbox around if I want to play somewhere, if I go on a holiday, whatever, becomes very inconvenient. So I do love the idea of Xbox anyway. My issue has always been, because remember, a lot of this will probably be out of Phil's hands. My issue is, how long will it be before Satya and the money men decide that it's no longer feasible to spend billions of dollars on R&D and selling consoles that don't sell very well? And I know everyone says Surface. I used to say Surface, but Surfaces don't cost the same as consoles do to make
that's true.
and produce. So a Surface is just a PC. So it doesn't cost a lot to make, and they sell them for an exorbitant price. I paid, before I got my MacBook Pro, I had a Surface Book, and it was like $4,000 for something that probably cost them a fraction of that to make.
Like 400 US.
So it makes sense to keep making Surfaces, because they can sell one Surface and it pays for bloody 1,000 of them. So it's not quite the same thing, where every console they sell is losing them money. That's on top of the billions they spent on R&D and making them.
True, but that's the assumption that they're still going to go with a customized chipset SoC setup.
Yes, that is under that assumption. Correct, of course.
I'm just, like I look at current handheld technology like the ROG Ally, that is not custom, right? And technology's got to a point where maybe there's a deal that can be struck that's bought in bulk that brings those prices down. Like I feel like there's more to that equation. All I'm trying to kind of get to grips with for the community in general is so many people are still in their fields about this. But regardless where you sit on your opinion on Microsoft's business, the reality is they've spent 70 billion. They can't do things the old way because it's no longer working. And let's be clear, at least it's in my opinion, as much as PlayStation are outselling them, they're also not growing in any way, shape, or form. And PlayStation are going to face the same situation and the same scenario in 10 years. And if they do not prepare, they're also going to be like, oh, what do we do now? Because games cost more to make and all of this jazz. And I disagreed with it. I've gone back and forth on how I feel about it. But the reality is, it doesn't matter at this point anymore how anybody feels. It is happening.
Oh, it is
people
happening.
Just have to just embrace.
I don't doubt that.
The main worry is people don't want to lose their ecosystem. You don't worry about the people who are just there to fight. It's like, I've got all these games. Should I keep buying more? Or am I just going to have to keep old hardware to run that? And I do think that's why they did announcing the forward compatibility team to make sure if they are changing up their architecture, if they are going off of, specific AMD stuff. And I would also think they would keep making hardware for the cloud so that R&D work gets done anyways to have an Xbox. And like if an Xbox in the future is PC hardware to this specific spec, like you've got your reference board, like with a 5090 from NVIDIA, you've got that spec. That's what that is. You make games that work perfectly for that. That is the console version, but then it can also access all the PC stores. And you've got that extra stuff, like trying to sell their hardware based on how good the hardware is instead of only the software, like trying to really focus. This is an amazing product to use. And it can play damn near every video game, especially if you're good at emulating Nintendo, though they won't say that.
True. Like it's an interesting scenario. Do you think, Parris, that the industry needs to get on board with this now? Because I feel like there's some old heads out there. Because I would argue that everybody that's mainstream, big names in the games industry, media side, are all sort of our age, I would argue. So they are, as Nick says, they're fueled by the nostalgia of the old way of doing things, the way the market has always worked. It's always worked around this premise. And it feels like in every headline, they are kind of pointing and laughing a little bit in some regards. There's never any actual kind of like acceptance that this is the way. I don't know. What do you feel? Like, where do you sit on this?
So, Clute, if you're in the chat, go ahead and clip this and post it because I know you will. First thing is, Phil also said last year, it's getting harder to subsidize this hardware, which I think is a hint towards this whatever the next iteration of the stuff is not going to be heavily subsidized in $500. I think it's going to be more than that. Just my opinion. But to the point of what you're asking, I mean, yeah, the industry is changing. And again, I bring it up, Phil, I'll just say it again. He won't get an apology. He never will, but he's pretty much been telling us this for years. And nobody wanted to listen because they were like, oh, that's just an Xbox problem. No, it's an industry problem. And we were just talking a second ago about PlayStation, to bring them into this for just a second. I look at it this way. Sure, there's 65 million PlayStation 5s out there, right? How did Ratchet & Clank sell? How did Returnal sell? How did Astrobot sell?
They're not selling 65 million units, are they?
Right. That's the point. Their attach rate is very low. So when you look at it that way, sure, you have the hardware in people's homes, which again, this is why they tried the live service strategy and they're scaling back on that. But people are not buying your games. That is the fundamental problem that's happening in the console market. And this is something else that has been talked about, that the console market is not growing. It has pretty much been stagnant for about 10 years. So around 200 million. It's just, that's what it is. I'm sure people can bring Nintendo into this, but Nintendo seems to be an anomaly because they've been able to synergize their hardware with their software, and the attach rate is unprecedented.
But they also they had to take mobile and console, where they were doing 100 million on console, 150 million on the mobile in one gen. Then the next gen, they're down to 70 million on the hardware and on the mobile and 10 million on the console. So they had to marry those two to do incredibly well, but it wasn't what they used to do.
Yeah.
And you're leading me right into the next point that I was even bringing Nintendo up. And they're able to get away with it because they don't try to compete on the power narrative. Their hardware is cheaper to make. They're able to sell it at a profit.
Yeah.
And their development costs for their games are nowhere near the ridiculous amount that we're seeing now with these AAA games that we're seeing on Xbox and PlayStation, obviously third parties. So yeah, you need to, like, again, I'm gonna use Astrobot as an example, right? Just because it's top of mind. Astrobot has won all these awards, Game of the Year. It is my personal Game of the Year. I think it's a phenomenal game. Love it. I mean, last we heard it was 1.5. So let's just say 2 million for argument's sake. 2 million copies of that game sold out of 65 million consoles. That's such a horrible attach rate. You can't tell me if Astrobot was available on PC and on the Nintendo Switch right now, it wouldn't be selling more. So sure, I don't think PlayStation is going to be as aggressive as what Xbox is doing, right? I don't see PlayStation games going to Xbox, but I do see them edging, getting closer and closer. I'm just thinking more short term here, but getting closer and closer to saying, let's get day and date on PC, right? As we get the resources in the studios that are able to do it, let's get our games on more platforms. All Phil has said over the past, year and a half, and obviously yesterday when he was on with us, is we're bringing these games to as many platforms as we possibly can. And he mentioned closed platforms, aka the Switch and the PlayStation, whereas I may not be able to deliver the 100% Xbox experience on those platforms, on those devices, but I'm at least going to get the games to them because I want as many people playing the games, aka I'm making as much money as I possibly can off of these games. It just makes sense, because when you think about live service games, because honestly, I was a Destiny player for 10 years, so I get it, but live service games has kind of ruined a lot of what we've had with single player experiences because people just don't have the time. So you can't play all these games anymore. I can't invest, I don't know, 200 hours into Fortnite and then another 200 hours into Fallout 12, or whatever. So you have to find some balance there. And as these companies are trying to get their return on investment and meet shareholder demands and all that, they got to put the games in more places. And that's what we're seeing.
I'm looking at the Phil quote here, and like I'm going to just read it out because we did an article on XboxEra.com. We did source you, unlike some others. So just want to be clear. Phil said specifically on this kind of topic, right? And I feel this is a pertinent thing because this is coming from the guy that's at the top of one of the platform holders. I feel like people should probably pay attention to this. He said, I think the difference that we've seen in the last 20 years, and I think this is good because I come from building games, is it's really game first, not platform first. Most of the games that everybody talks about run across every different platform. Those are the games that are having success. Those are the games that are at the top of the charts. And if you look at the most played, most successful games, I want to build a platform that services those creators. Those creators are trying to meet people on every screen. That's the new Xbox strategy in a nutshell. Hey, we want to have all of our games have the potential to be a Minecraft. We want to be on your phone. That
was Call of Duty versus Halo. Why did Halo fall behind? Halo was on one thing and Call of Duty was everywhere. And you can just get so many more people, especially when that fandom is also more open to IP crossover, which is one of the main things every live service game needs, is to just embrace bringing in every damn IP you can think of, no matter how woo, no matter how weird, cringe, skibbity toilet, whatever the hell, people want to pay for that shit. Like that is what will keep funding everything else you make.
Yeah. There's a few comments in the chat on this topic, funnily enough. I don't know if you've seen them, Nick, from Alvin.
I have seen them, yes. So Alvin, member for 8 months. As long as the Game Pass to console attach rate is high enough, won't that make it worth it to produce those boxes? Please correct me if I have this wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's still technically the old model in terms of the games and stuff subsidizing the loss on the box, which I don't think they're willing to do anymore. No one, not just Xbox, PlayStation, maybe even Nintendo. Not that Nintendo was making a loss, but maybe Nintendo wants to make even more going forward on the Switch too, if pricing rumors are to be believed or come true.
I think it was either Grubb or Piscatella at some point. I heard somebody say that would know. Both companies really wish they had priced this generation at $600 because they think people would have still bought it.
Yeah, they would have.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably true. I mean, I would argue that the Game Pass fuels the hardware for Microsoft specifically, because whatever version of Game Pass might exist elsewhere outside of PC can't exist on the other consoles. Like straight away, you're not going to get a big third party say, yeah, unless Game Pass subscription numbers are at this point bonkers. I doubt you're going to get like third party publishers going, yeah, okay, I'll have that deal where no one will buy my game, and it's available on Game Pass on every device, because then
other platform holders are just going to be like, no.
They wouldn't be getting a cut, right? And that's going to hurt, because that's the point of running these platforms: is you provide the platform, you provide the services, you get a cut of everything sold. And that's been, as the market leader for PlayStation, why they're doing so well. I read a great piece from Sam Tolbert on Windows Central this week that pointed out, well, what about the 70% that Microsoft are going to make by selling these games on other platforms? They're going to get the biggest slice of the pie. What are they going to do with that? Well, I have a sneaking suspicion they might end up giving us more games, which, as someone that loves those things, is kind of okay with me. I don't know about you guys. More games? Although this year there's a bit too much, maybe. I don't know. It's a difficult topic for people to get around, but
Nerds and Other Legends has a super chat as well. I felt hesitant on the Xbox strategy. I've been conditioned by the console industry, but with Phil and his passion for gaming, I'm sold on the vision. I'm still afraid by the reasons Nick explained, though. Yeah, and it's funny, like, I still somewhat feel Microsoft's in a tricky position because of Game Pass. So prior to ABK, and before ABK kind of changed everything, they very much wedded themselves to Game Pass. Said, yep, Game Pass is everything. Get it on Game Pass. Everything's Game Pass. Now, with the current multi-platform strategy, you would think that, yes, Game Pass becomes even more of a selling point, because why go and pay full price for it on PlayStation or Switch or whatever when you can just sub to Game Pass and play it on the Xbox for free? The issue is, though, and we come back to all the hardware and all that sort of thing, I feel like Game Pass can be somewhat a thorn in their side now if they have no exclusivity on their platform. If that makes sense. Like,
I'm muted. I apologize. I was just going to ask, do you mean if Game Pass isn't exclusive to their platform? Because
no. Game Pass will stay exclusive. I'm talking about the games. The games themselves. Like, because the problem is, the console is still responsible for the majority of Game Pass subs.
Yeah.
It just is. They'll probably never tell us what the actual number is, but it's fairly obvious that the console is primarily responsible for the Game Pass subs. If the console hardware continues to sell less and less with time, Game Pass subs will go down more and more with time. All of a sudden, the ecosystem and the platform is losing its differentiator. And it's just, I can see a scenario where that starts to become a thorn in their side and a bit of a problem going forward. So I just wonder what kind of effect that will then have on all of this going forward. Now, on XB2+1, I was just on that last week with Jez and Ran. Jez believes there is a world where Microsoft could turn around later down the line if it makes more business sense and go back to having games as being exclusive again. I don't know if I think that's the case. I don't know if Microsoft would ever go back to exclusivity again, personally. Jez reckons there's a world where there might be. What do you guys reckon?
I think the opposite in that I think once you've let that genie out of the bottle,
That's what I
don't
said.
think I don't think you can get it back in. If anything, you get rid of Game Pass at that point. It's just okay. We tried it, didn't work. No more Game Pass. We're just selling our games at $60, $70 a pop.
I don't know. Like, I think if the I remember there being conjecture that typically, much like I guess PlayStation's market share proves, they might sell the most, but the average gamer, the casual gamer perhaps, is going to buy maybe 2 or 3 games a year. That they'll buy their FIFAs, their NFLs, their Call of Duties, and then they're kind of done. Maybe they'll buy a big blockbuster if one rocks up, but otherwise they're not like us 4 or perhaps the chat here. Oh, that cool indie game, I'm grabbing that. I'm going to dive into that. That's what Game Pass serves. And if the premise from Microsoft's perspective is, okay, well, if we tell those people, well, you're going to get all of those things, all of those big things that you would buy every year anyway, with EA Play, including in Game Pass Ultimate, with all of Microsoft first party, all of that jazz, plus their third party deals, plus their indie day ones, they're kind of saying to those people, well, you subscribe to this, you'll still get the things you buy, but also you'll get all this extra stuff, and you might find something you like. And I we've heard plenty of stories. Hell, it's happened to me. A genre I would not go out and have bought and tried from a consumer perspective. We appreciate more and more that we're now in the position where often we just get given codes. So we always try and keep our consumer hat on. What's it like to actually just buy games, right? And I've found genres and things that I've tried that I wouldn't have tried before. And if you operate under that math of, well, they can either spend $120 on 2 video games, or they can spend $120 or however much it is a year now
$240
on all of these games, surely common sense will prevail, right? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel that they could just switch that around and not do
I'd be
that
very
anymore.
surprised. I'd be very surprised.
It's also not just the cost of games. If they are multiplayer games, you are paying for multiplayer anyways. The difference would be, I do think, with next Xbox hardware, if it plays PC games, they have to get rid of the paywall, and they know that.
Yes.
They've already set it up. They would have their base version is you get all these games, and then you've got Ultimate where you get everything but the paywall. Like, the paywall just goes away, and it is only about having those. And they've got their, hey, if you're grandfathered in for the old console one, sure, whatever, for a while. But eventually the push would be just have Game Pass Ultimate. Because it's already what most people use anyways. And if your whole thing is just pull into the ecosystem, get people playing in your ecosystem as much as possible, whatever way, then maybe finally at that point the math makes sense for not doing the paywall.
Yeah. The old man in me can't help but wish.
But you don't look
I think
old.
that's the whole industry. Old men.
I can't help but think I wish they had just given all this a chance first. Like, it's easy for them to say we couldn't outdo Sony and Nintendo at their own game. It's easy to say that in hindsight, or to say it now that it's happened. But they still didn't give any of it a chance. Not ABK. And I get why ABK wasn't given a chance, because as soon as Satya saw 70 billion spent, he was like, how are we going to get that back?
Largest Microsoft acquisition ever, and it was in gaming.
But I just look at this scenario where Sony right now is struggling with their first party output, not in terms of quality, but in terms of cadence and getting them out there. So and that's leading to them doing some money hats, some publishing deals, and all that sort of stuff to get output out there. And I look at that scenario and I think, look at the timing of Microsoft sort of, waving the white flag. Now that they've all of a sudden, after years of, this is the year of Xbox, this is the year of Xbox, after years of that promise not being delivered on, 2025 comes along and it looks like we're just going to be flooded with games from them over the next 2 to 3 years. And here's PlayStation sort of fumbling and stumbling over their own feet, not being able to get games out. And Microsoft's like, well, that's okay. We're putting games on your platform anyway.
Imagine how PlayStation feels. Like, shit, they're sucking the oxygen out of the room. It's all about their games. Like, someone in the chat said earlier, Sea of Thieves, which is what? When did it come out for us on
2018?
on PC? 2018, 2017?
2018, yeah, it's up in there.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves sold as much as Astrobot did. How do you think Sony thinks about that? oh shit, people do want to play Xbox games. Oh no, because a good game is a good game. And I'm going to pull this quote up, right? I'm going to pull this quote up from Danny Pena and your interview with Phil. Phil Spencer, the thing I've learned and continue to learn when I'm listening to creators, not only our own studios, but other teams building games, is every creator out there wants to build a game that can find as many players as they want. And frankly, there aren't many platforms out there that try to build the connections to so many people with so many different screens, where it's almost like a single platform, single device, single game. And that's in the history of our business. We're taking the approach of we want people to play Xbox on many different screens. We're not going to put walls up around where people can engage with the great games our studios are building, or where they can experience Xbox through different forms, whether it's on cloud, PC, handheld PC. There it is in a nutshell.
Can I comment on that exact phrase? Because it is a fun. Because look, I've seen various comments since the interview, right? And I've seen this the softball criticism towards it. Well, you didn't ask about is Halo or Forza or any of these other games also going to be multi-platform? He literally just said it right there. Why would I follow up on that? He just told you, I am not putting up any walls against our creators. So if Halo Studios wants to put Halo on PlayStation, he's not going to say no, is the whole point. Assume everything will be multi-platform moving forward.
And like, as a big Halo fan, as a long time, I missed the golden era of Halo, where Halo was the game that everybody played back in 2007, 2008. Yeah, do I want to own some PlayStation noobs on Halo multiplayer? God, yes, sign me up. I want people to experience that. You know, we've heard rumors. I think it was Tom Warren, keep me honest here, that said that he'd heard bubbling of a CE remake last year. I think before the June showcase, there was something like that. And then what do we see from Halo Studios at their HCS World Championship final? This big announce that they're switching to Unreal. And what do we see? Lots of very Halo CE-like imagery in Unreal. Now, whether that's just, 2 + 2 = 5 and people are getting the wrong end of the stick, but then 343. Halo Studios themselves also commented that like some of the stuff we're doing here is going to directly build into what we're doing next, right? So I'm paraphrasing, but that was the gist. So I'm like, wow, I as a Halo fan, do I want to see a more mature, like retelling of CE, but with all the gumption and modern gameplay systems available to us? Yeah, I kind of would be okay with that, actually. We heard from Yoshida when he was with was it with Kind of Funny? He talked about if you want to support, you want to get more games, buy the remasters, buy the, it's what people want. People want the nostalgia. They want to go back. I want to see Halo be big again, and I think going multi-platform is realistically the only way you're going to pull that off.
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Go.
Oh no, I was just going to comment on the shoe interview that Greg did. I mean, that was over 2 hours, and it was such a insightful conversation because here's someone that knows where all the bodies are buried at PlayStation, and he was just giving you just the raw facts of how this industry works. I mean, talking about, no, we need to have these remasters. I need you to buy these remasters and remakes because that's how we're funding the next projects that we're doing. And no, I wouldn't have done live service because look where they are now. Now they have to scramble, and they're about to have their 2022. Maybe it'll be this year or next year or whatever, but they're going to have a gap where they just don't have anything. And how is people going to react to that? So look, the industry's fluid, man. I mean, just because you're number one today doesn't mean you're going to be number one tomorrow. All it takes is one wrong decision and it could change everything. Like, and real quick, and I'll let you jump in. Look at Nintendo. As much as we talk about Nintendo, we are a generation removed from disaster with them, with the Wii U. If the Switch flopped, guess what? We playing Mario on an Xbox right now.
Yeah, it's true.
That's how easy it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I want that world because, you see the emulators running all these Nintendo games at 4K 60, and I'm like, yep, all right, let's go. Super Smash 4K 60 on my ultra wide. Great. I'd love to play that. But alas, we do not live in that world. Imagine the money. Like someone at Nintendo at some point is going to be, and I feel like Nintendo are the only company left now in terms of platform holders that are like, we make enough. Don't worry about it. We make enough. Let's not push
isn't it? They don't seem to display that same greed that the others do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yet they still have shareholders and they still have you know, it's weird how they don't seem to care as much.
Like, you got to think,
at least on the surface.
Yeah, you got to think like a shareholder at some point is going to be like, yo, guys, you could make some stupid money by releasing your exclusives on PC. Like, you could just do that and people would go nuts. But Nintendo want to sell their hardware too. And I love Nintendo because of their quirkiness and their imagination, because they marry their hardware so closely to their game design a lot of the time. That's what makes Nintendo games often still feel like toys that are just for big kids too. I don't know, or for everybody, more to the point.
Should we get some community questions out of the way?
I believe we have
both on this topic and for Parris while we still have Parris.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do that.
Okay. Now we'll go to the ones that relate.
While you're looking that up, I'm just going to mention, if you're first time watching the show, big hello to everybody watching right now. Do give us a like and do the usual YouTube gubbins. All right, yes, it's matter to hear us.
I know.
The algorithm demands.
They like engagement.
Yeah, give us those thumbs up. If you're wondering, like, oh, community questions, how do I get in on that? Community questions are reserved exclusively for our wonderful Patreon community. So if you want to support our independent and feisty publication, you can head to patreon.com/XboxEra for as little as a cup of coffee a month.
We might have
the opportunity to drag this show out for 5 more hours if you saw fit. If you all banded together, you could probably keep me up all night.
I was gonna say,
what have we got, Nick?
I think we also have like 4 video reviews next week so far.
We've reviewed a lot this month.
Goddamn Game Pass, friggin' January's got 6 day ones trying to review. Jesus Christ.
It's good times.
Ooh, big super chat. We should do that, Nick, real quick.
Okay, yes.
That's
my
a big
friend
one.
Jason with a massive $31 super chat.
It's Australian.
As a massive Gears fan. Yeah, it's Australian dollars, so it's not as much for everyone else.
It's a $5.
As a massive Gears fan, I would be ecstatic if E-Day comes to PlayStation on day one to give the multiplayer community a better chance of sustained player base over time. Gears 4 and 5 multiplayer bases died very quickly, especially 5.
You got to be in Mexico if you want to play it forever.
Yeah. Gears 5, I freaked out at how quick, within a week, I was struggling to find games. That was shocking. So yes, that is a good point. In terms of those multiplayer focused games,
sure would be nice if Microsoft did some sort of collection of Gears titles.
Yeah,
and
that would be good, wouldn't it?
Brought people back into the fold.
Your ego's big enough after Ninja Gaiden. I hope they never do.
Yeah. So the first question is from Cap Coug that I could find that was relevant to what we're talking about now. Hello, gentlemen. Xbox Play Anywhere, now with over 1,200 confirmed games, is a big reason I've always had confidence in making a purchase with Xbox over any other platform that any game releases on, whether it's Xbox first-party or third-party partner games. Having console, PC, and cloud rights with cross-buy and cross-save makes it a huge differentiator for buying games. I see the usual this week. Why buy/play on Xbox when I can just have it all on PlayStation? For me, if you aren't already on Xbox Game Pass and you really need to buy your digital games, then Play Anywhere is that main reason to buy on Xbox. You get way more for your money. How do you feel about buying $40 or $70 games and only getting to play it on one box? How do you feel about buying that same game for the same price on an Xbox and you get it everywhere? How do you think the younger generation feels? That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, Microsoft, I loved it. Beginning of the Developer Direct. I mean, they're getting good at this now. Let's give them some kudos because they heard the criticism over the last few years of, oh, is this gameplay? Is it CG? Tell us what this was recorded on, all of that jazz. They came up with everything here is on Xbox Play Anywhere. So you buy one copy and you get these things. It's all on Game Pass. It's all available on the cloud. Enjoy the show. Like, what a great way to open it. And if that's not a statement of intent of, here's the new era, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually not as bad as you might think it is. Because I love, as someone who has a really nice PC with a nice graphics card in it, it's not a 5090 like Parris has got over there sitting in his rig right now. All right, but it's close. But I can be chilling out in a lounge and then I can come over here and play my games in a different format. Look at it. It's so small compared to my 4090.
No, that's the 40.
It is the 4090.
I need to find a home for the 4090. Actually, I have one already. It's my other computer. But
do they let you keep it?
Yeah.
Oh, I am insanely
I
jealous.
actually got a response from Nvidia, but we weren't big enough to make the cut.
That's fair enough. Parris is
They were
great.
nice.
I did say
But,
at the start of the show, he is legendary.
What Cap Coug says is true. Like I've always batted on about the ecosystem. That the ecosystem's the best part about it. As someone who pretty much only just plays Fortnite and Rocket League, for me the Xbox ecosystem has always been what tied me there and kept me there more so than the game specifically. Yeah, go.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was let you finish your thought. I apologize. But, I was just going to comment on the whole play anywhere in the ecosystem part of it. That's the thing I don't think Xbox talks enough about.
No.
Because to me, that is the differentiator in that we're giving you the flexibility that you buy this one time and there are multiple panes of glass that you can play this game on versus being locked into one. So sure, you can buy all your games on PlayStation, but you are now locked into always playing that game on PlayStation. Whereas if you buy it on Xbox, I can play it on the console, I can play it on the cloud, I can play it obviously on PC and handheld device or whatever the hell else they're going to come up with the next generation. And just since we're talking about that, I think something else they really need to start emphasizing, because part of the hardware argument, and I think you alluded to this previously, is the forward compatibility. Are you going to protect my investment into your digital library so that if you were to stop making Xbox hardware after the next generation, how am I guaranteed that I'm going to continue to have access to those games? So I do think that's something else they need to talk about. Now, honestly, it's probably my biggest regret from the interview is not bringing that up. I should have brought that up. So hopefully Destin did, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's and I have to mention it on the Play Anywhere front because I feel like they have improved at least a little bit this year. Because I want to say, was it last year? It was last year. Last year, our own community, and I'm going to give a shout out to patrons Cryon, Terran, and Mr. Hipshot, worked with a member of our team. They were like, Play Anywhere is actually massive. There's so many games that aren't getting the correct labeling in the store.
Parties. A lot of third parties.
Because I found out publishers set their tags on the store, and a lot of them just were fully Play Anywhere, but never click Play Anywhere.
Yeah, and these guys went through everything, and they found, there's like 1,500 games or something crazy like that.
I think it was 11 to 1,200.
Something like that. But they put together a list, and then we saw it get picked up by other sites once we dropped that article. I think Windows Central picked it up, and then suddenly Microsoft started adding the tag to some of these games. And we're like, okay, someone out there is paying attention, because guess what? This is a really good feature of your ecosystem that I can buy or play one game, and, my cloud save is included. And I can follow it around, and it uploads to all my devices, and I don't have to stress, and I can just play my video game. And imagine if they get to a world where they can have quick resume states copy across. Like, I know that's like far-fetched right now.
That
can you
would be near
imagine,
impossible.
You
but
quick
hey,
resume finish on a console in your lounge.
if anyone could do it, Jason Ronald, mate.
The Wizards.
You
the
better
Wizards of
have
Microsoft.
Wi-Fi 7 with like,
I know, right? It's going to be like
because
12 gig.
Yeah, you are uploading a metric butt ton.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
it's a
there
nice
could be
dream.
some clever thing they could do, sort of like what the Capcom collections and all that sort of stuff do.
The way the quick resume works is it's a screenshot of your RAM, like of the actual system RAM.
Yeah.
So if your game's like 4 gigs, it'll be a lot easier than a game that is using like 10 or 11. So
Yeah.
but even then, it's also
I have to give the shout out to the community for that.
I think Jason Ronald told us it's also dependent on the hardware you're using, so it doesn't work between devices very well, because they can just be a little different on a different build of the OS, that type of stuff.
Yeah. The next question's from Liam. Hi guys, I'm Parris. Was listening to the interview with Phil on Gamertag Radio and was really interested to hear his response to why even own an Xbox if games are multiplayer. Where I was expecting him to highlight the value benefit of Game Pass, he doubled down on the importance of hardware and how he sees that being the difference when looking forward. What do you guys think the next generation of Xbox hardware needs to do to completely stand out versus the other hardware that will be on the market? Thanks.
That's a
Portable
really
Series
big-
S.
I feel like they have to take, as someone who mains Xbox, and I say mains Xbox, I also play a lot on PC. but I love the features that the Xbox platform give me. If their future hardware can do things like take into account that I feel like we've hit a hardware kind of limit, like in terms of, like the games, in my opinion, games are fancy looking enough now. I don't care about graphics anymore. I want new ideas more than the fanciest looking RTX lighting or whatever. But if they can have it like just that memory card, we've talked about this before. If I could take the memory card that is in the back of my Xbox Series X or S and put it into a handheld, and I want it like to go all the way in so it's flush and it just, all those games just work. I can live in that world with whatever Xbox brings to the next round of hardware innovation. That's already going to be like a big thing for me to be able to just be like, go. And it's portable. It comes everywhere with me. I love that idea as an example. I mean, what about you guys? What hardware innovations would you seek from Xbox?
I would say for me, it's definitely going to have to be that handheld. I think that would be the thing that they could do that can have them stand out from their competitors, and it is synergizing with their digital library. When I say I want every Xbox game that I own on that handheld, I mean all first party, all third party, original Xbox, all the way up to whatever the next gen is going to be. I can play it on that device. If they're able to pull that off, I think that's something that would be very appealing to people and would get me to go, you know what? I'm just going to buy that game on the Xbox store because I know I can play it on my handheld. I know I can play it on my PC. I can play it on the console that's under my TV. I can cloud stream it. I can do whatever I want with it. That's the kind of stuff they need to talk about to differentiate themselves moving forward and to make it realistic that they are still making a console that sits under your television. I think, since I'm just talking about it, I just think another argument that I see a lot with why, if I can't play PlayStation games on Xbox, you might be able to find a loophole in that if you're allowed, if you're allowed to play games off of the Epic or Steam store on Xbox hardware. And I think PlayStation would be insane to block it. Why? You're losing money.
Would they be able to block it?
No, I don't think you can. Like it's just Windows. And like when you sign up to be on Steam, you are on everything Steam is on. The only way NVIDIA GeForce, they could block things in specific ways because that is a deal with NVIDIA directly to allow your things to work where you wanted to. But when it comes to Steam, you don't get a say.
Stuff,
it's Steam's. You are signing their deals.
Yeah, it's. I can't wait. Like I said at the start of this gen, it was going to be the most interesting one, and it has been. Like it's been full of drama and intrigue and ups and downs
and amazing games.
It's the gen of disruption. We're seeing a lot of disruption in the industry as far as what we've been used to is slowly starting to be torn down to where. And I'll just say this since I'm talking about it. I have absolutely 1000% put my foot in my mouth because look, people pull the clips and show them to me every goddamn day. But a year ago, this time, I was like, nah, they're not going to put everything. That's not going to happen. I was convinced of it because I'm not Nick. I don't have no insider knowledge. I don't know anything. Right?
He doesn't either. I just
neither do I. I just guess and I throw everything at the wall to see what happens to stick.
But I go, sure, they're going to put some old games. It's not going to be a big deal. They're not going to do Halo or Gears day and date. A year later, they're probably going to do Halo and Gears day and date. It's just the reality that we're in right now, you know?
Well, I mean, we've talked on the show before. I think it's going to be hugely dependent as well on the team's original capability. And what I mean by that is a number of their acquisitions from Bethesda and Activision were obviously originally multi-platform studios geared up for multi-platform development, whereas a lot of their long-standing first-party studios aren't. And those are the ones where you'll see delays, I think, if they make a decision to port a game or not. Like, do I expect Hellblade 2 to turn up? Yeah. Do I think that Ninja Theory have probably been plugging away at that since release and are probably going to do that at some point this summer? Yes. Like that's not an insider knowledge. That's just an educated guess because they haven't got the original. They used to be multi-platform, right? But Halo Studios, as an example, that is a huge effort to suddenly be like, we need PlayStation knowledge. What helps with that? I wonder if you're developing on Unreal, that probably might help gear yourselves up for that multi-platform. That is where I would expect delays and differences, and also just like what the appetite for games are. Can you imagine how amazingly well and how much money a game like Forza Horizon would make on PlayStation? They do not have a game of that type, of that quality from a first party perspective. You know, we've seen third parties like Ubisoft try and emulate that open world racer feel, and we've seen the rumors about Forza Horizon 5. I don't put much stock in them because of the licensing deals around the cars. Like, I don't see them suddenly being like, oh, we need another 5 years of licenses. They'll just do it with Forza Horizon 6 if they're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, but then you think, well, Christ, how big is that game going to be? Well, yeah, that's the point, people. They want to have every game be a Minecraft in terms of scale. That it becomes the zeitgeist. Everyone's talking about it. It doesn't matter anymore about the box you're playing on. And I feel really sorry for the folks that have wedged their identity online to a device, because it's so sad. Like, it's just video games, man. It ain't that serious. Like, there's other things to be worried about in life. I don't understand it. It's very strange to me. But yeah,
Now,
anyway,
the
more
next
community
question,
questions.
The next question is very much for Parris. Brace yourself.
Okay. Uh-oh.
We look carefully at Phil Spencer's shelf. This is from Hyphen G. We look carefully at Phil Spencer's shelf to see if there are any deductions for the future. But if we see Parris's shelf, what can we deduce?
You'll see see a Rogue Ally, you'll see a Series S, you'll see an Xbox Fridge, Voltron, Macross, and a Cowboy Bebop magazine. That's about all that's up there.
Parris is releasing a new handheld. You can just see the little white box there. Oh man, that's so funny.
I have a lot here, but I promise it's all just crap.
Do you see? Me and Phil have the same things on our shelf. Look at that.
It was
our book.
It's so cool to see our book on the shelf. It is so, like, Phil's office, our book's standing there like every time now. We've seen, like, on CNN, there's our book. It is one of those things where we're like, yeah,
it's great.
We made that. It's funny actually, Parris. Like, we were talking just before you jumped into the room, and the community knows this. There are obviously desires from the XboxEra team to work that magic again and produce a book all about the Xbox 360 with the community's involvement. And I've got to ask you, and I hate to put you on the spot live, but if we come to you and say, "Hey, Parris, do you want to write a little something about your experiences or from the community section?" Would you be willing?
No.
What?
At least he's honest. At least he was upfront about it.
You played.
At least he was upfront about it.
No, of course I would love to do something like that.
Do you think Danny would as well if I reach out to him?
He's got the jumper. He's got the jumper from prior to launch. Is it prior to 0 hour 0?
You know what? Someone gave me grief for that too, going, why would you wear that? That's just showing your bias towards. I'm like, because I was freaking there 20 years ago, and we're talking about the past of Xbox. I don't know. It's so silly.
That's an Adidas jumper too. Adidas made that. It's like, what the hell?
Wow.
But no, to answer your question, no, I would love to do that. I think Danny would too. Why not?
Awesome.
I mean, hell, he's been around long enough. He should.
Yeah, man. I'm sure he's got some fun anecdotes he can chuck in, because especially if he snuck his way into the 360 launch, I want that story in the book, man. Like, let's get it in there.
No, actually, again, to show you how much of a dinosaur he is, actually it was the Xbox launch.
The OG?
OG.
Yes.
Wow, we should have had him in the first book.
In Times Square, yeah.
We've missed the trick. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Now, the next one. Here we go. This is from SJ. Fitness with Parris. Hey, fellas. Parris, it's great to finally see you here. It's good to know that Nick didn't scare you off forever. He has that effect on people. Congrats on the interview with Phil Spencer. Maybe you can give John here some tips on how to land an interview with Phil. I don't have a video game question this week, as I'm sure you'll have covered things like the Dev Direct, the different directions Xbox and PlayStation are going, and all that jazz. Instead, I want to ask Parris something I've always been curious about. What's your fitness and nutrition routine? You're one of the most jacked people in the games media. Sorry, Nick.
You are.
So I've been wondering
bony.
what your secret is. Have a good one.
So let me answer a couple of those questions. As far as the interview thing goes, that was all Danny. That was not me. So he'll have to figure out the secret to getting it.
Very politely
I'll hit him up.
email. And don't
But,
spread rumors about Starfield.
But the fitness stuff. So right now I feel very bloated and out of shape because I've been sick and I've been eating all the bad foods that I shouldn't be eating. But as far as a routine goes, man, I mean, I'll tell the story. So in 2011, January 14th, 2011, I weighed 320 pounds. And I will never forget looking in the mirror one morning and going, "Ugh, who's that fat dude? Holy shit, it's me." Right? I need to go do something. And like I said, it was January 14th, 2011 was the day I dedicated. I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. Yes, I'm intimidated to go to the gym and I'm shy and all these things. I don't know what to do. And I just I remember I used to just run upstairs and go on the treadmill. I was afraid to go down there where all the weights were. And I just slowly but surely, decided, hey, let's figure this out. I had a good friend of mine. He wrote out this workout routine that I actually still do to this day. I just have it memorized now. I don't have to go look at it anymore, but it's just being consistent with it and watching what you eat. In simple terms, cut out as much sugar as you can, cut out as much bread as you can, don't drink soda, and move.
Lots of water.
Yeah, lots of water. A lot of water. Yeah. And
weights,
just be consistent.
not cardio.
Yeah.
Weights, not cardio.
Lift. Yeah, just go lift. And I will tell you from experience, and anyone that regularly goes to the gym will tell you this, I could care less what you look like when you walk in there. If anything, the people that you see coming in there every day that are trying to lose weight, I have nothing but respect and praise for them because they're putting in the work. And that's all it's about, man. Just put in the work and stay consistent with it.
Yeah, I was about to say consistency is the key. Don't the biggest trap people fall into that I've found, and I've done it myself in everything I've tried. Don't expect results straight away.
No.
Know from the outset and expect from the outset that it is going to take maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years before you start to see tangible change in your body. Don't be disheartened if you don't eat a salad in the morning and don't see abs in the afternoon, because that's not realistic.
I
understand that it's going to take time and consistency before you start to see results. If you go in with that mindset, you'll be okay, and just build the good habits. I'm sure, as Parris, because I did not know you were 145 kilos, because I did a quick conversion, because I don't use pounds. I'm in Australia. I didn't realize you were 145 kilos. So for you to be down to what you are now, that's like developing those good habits, which I'm sure are now just the norm at this point. So
yeah, I mean, I know the formula now. So even when I do get super lazy, like I have been probably the past month or so, I know what to just get back on the routine and just go do it. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. No,
Cool.
That's good. That's really good.
We got the other ones specifically for Parris?
Well, they were the ones I really wanted to get out of the way because we were talking about the topic of Xbox and multiplayer and all that sort of stuff, and also questions for Parris. I've got more for Parris directly if we want to get those.
We have a couple of super chats if we want to get them done.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
and I want to talk about the developer direct a bit, and then we'll squeeze in some more Parris questions if there's time.
Yeah.
Fantasarcher, hearing about xCloud improvements, including playing owned games, could seem to lessen the need for console. But if the internet is down, any thoughts? Well, yes, the internet is always going to be an issue regardless for cloud.
Hell, even for console.
Internet infrastructure is spotty at best, depending on where you live.
I mean, if you can... Yeah, if you're playing on cloud, the internet's down. Well, you're shit out of luck. What do you want?
And if you're on console, if you're on console and you're game sharing, it's the same because if you're the one who has to be logged in to play your shit and the internet's down,
it's exactly that way for me. Like if my internet goes down, my son can still play everything. I can't. Sucks to be me for a while. Dad, go do something else. I think, again, Microsoft seem to do a lot of stuff with the right idea and the right data and the right mindset, but they often make the jump a year or two too soon or 5 years too soon. Xbox One being case in point. Oh, I don't want a camera watching me. I don't want a microphone listening to me. And now everybody in the world has a bloody Alexa in their house or a Google Home. I know no one that I know now doesn't have one of those.
And every PS4 and PS5 controller just has a microphone in the controller.
Yeah. Back in 2013, privacy concerns was the height of the rhetoric, right? Like they have these choices now. I think in this particular choice of the new era of what Xbox are going to go do, I think they're just doing it at the right time to succeed sooner rather than later. I think other platforms perhaps will find that they'll have acted too late. But anyway, yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Machine XP. Xbox has evolved as I have. I'm primarily PC now. Western RPGs are my favorite. Game Pass is supreme. Play my games across devices. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. I think Microsoft look at that as well. They look at, and Nick, you know this, what do kids want nowadays? They don't care about consoles. Can I play on PC? No. That's where all the people I watch play on. Because that's where you can do all the
skibbity
cool
toilets.
My son is already saving up, mate. He's 9 years old. He's already saving. I told him because Papu, granddad in Greek, Papu is going to give him his old PC. So now he wants to save up. I told him, start saving your money to get a nice GPU for the PC that Papu is giving you so that you can play Fortnite in the highest frames. Because it talks about all the frames now.
That's what kids want. I don't know. Well, Parris, you got kiddos, right?
Yeah, I have 3 kids, and I talk about it all the time. They have no brand loyalty. They could care less. They just want convenience. They play where it's the most convenient. And again, bringing Phil back into this for a second again, he's talked about that. That's what they're seeing. So it's not about, I need to bring you to this device. I need to bring the game to the device that you want to play on. So it all makes sense on the stuff he's been talking about.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the developer direct while there's still time. An incredible show, I think, from Microsoft. This is a great way every year for the last 3 years to start the year. They've nailed the format, so kudos to the Microsoft teams that put this stuff together. We love seeing the human side of the development teams and them celebrating their success. But they announced earlier this week, we've got Ninja Gaiden 4. We had a shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which I've been playing and loving. We've got a deep dive into South of Midnight, a deep dive into Expedition 33, and a deep dive into Doom. All of those, aside from Ninja Gaiden 4, are out before the June showcase. What a statement of intent. Parris, what did you think of the show, and what did you think of the games? Any favorites? What are your general musings on this one?
I thought it was A+, and just shout to Tina and the team that she's assembled over the past few years, because it seems like every show they up the production value every time, and they just get better with it. I thought it was great. It's showing the potential of what Xbox is going to be able to do from a game standpoint moving forward with these quality games. Now, as far as the games themselves, I have some bias towards South of Midnight because I did go to Compulsion in November and get to see it already and meet with the team and, just talk with everyone about the game and their passion behind it and the direction that they're trying to take it. Ironically enough, I'm pretty sure I was there when they filmed that because I was looking at outfits and I go, I remember them wearing that. Yeah. So I think they filmed it or that same day we were there or definitely that week I was there. But yeah, South of Midnight looks phenomenal from what Compulsion is able to do. And I say again, my bias towards it because I am from the deep American South, and to see them representing that and just the folklore and the legends of that, the art, the music, just the very sounds of the South, you can literally hear that being represented in the game. So I'm very excited for people to be able to see that. Again, Ninja Gaiden 4, goes without saying. If you're old like me, hell, I played Ninja Gaiden in the arcades. That's how old I am. So very excited to see that coming back. Doom is Doom.
No one's played it in the arcades, dude. I keep telling everyone Ninja Gaiden was an arcade game that was hard as balls. It was ridiculous. But I think we were actually talking about it last week or the other day. I don't know if you remember, but I thought it was just the coolest thing how you used to run up the phone booths and then flip over the back and you'd ambush your enemies and jump. Oh my God, that Ninja Gaiden arcade game, it was just was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
Completely agree. And then just running out the rest of the list. I mean, Doom is Doom. I mean, Doom Dark Ages looks great. I love that they now have basically the difficulty scaler in there so that people can
journalist
enjoy
mode.
it. And, yeah, I know. I saw that. That's funny. So hey, it's good. It looks great. I think people are going to have a blast with that as well. And then Expedition 33. I mean, I'm not a big turn-based guy, but it looks good. It looks really good. I mean, people that are into that genre, it looks like something like a day one that you're going to want to play. And then to your point about obviously, Black Ninja Gaiden Black 2 is, shadow dropped and is out now. I have it downloaded. I haven't really put a lot of time into it yet. I will. But the fact that all this stuff, except for Ninja Gaiden 4, is out before the showcase just immediately made me think, well, my God, what is coming after the showcase? Right? I mean, we know Outer Worlds 2, and knock on wood, Fable, fingers crossed.
It was dated.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody thinks it's going to get delayed because of GTA 6, but we'll obviously see. But I would imagine they probably got something else too. Not to derail this, but, and I think I saw Tom Henderson in here, but I keep seeing they say Gears of War E-Day is coming this year. I have never thought that.
That was Tom Warren.
First reported by Tom Warren in Notepad via The Verge. So kudos to Tom for that one. I get a sneaking suspicion he's correct, and I don't know why I think this.
You know why, John? It's because they've always done it that way. They always show it, and then next year it's out.
Boom, it's out. They do a very similar method to Playground Games. Like, they haven't done it with Fable, but with Forza Horizon, if they announce the next one, they show it off in June, it's out in September. That's how they've done Forza Horizon in the past. But with Gears, if it were me and E-Day is releasing this year, and the rumors of a Gears collection are true, I would do a 1-2 punch of Gears collection to get perhaps unknown fans into the series and into the world. Wow, what is this? And then smack them with E-Day as your Indiana Jones December release. That's what I would do if it was planned for this year. But we'll see, right? Like, it is a wonderful world to live in as an Xbox kind of fan, to finally be here. As Nick said earlier in the show, this year's going to be the year for Xbox. Just wait for E3. We've done this for a decade, and now it's finally happened. The cadence is here.
Here's my whole nostalgia reasoning that they're not going to do it. And again, I can don't care. Next year's the 20-year anniversary.
Too true. That is true.
And it's a 25-year anniversary of Xbox. It just makes sense. Not to mention, if Fable is really coming out this year, knock on wood, it does. You're going to give me Gears and Fable this holiday? Look, I'm not going to complain. Trust me. I'll be shocked. I will just be shocked.
It'd be very interesting to see what happens. But I love that we live in that world now where it's like, what could they do? Well, quite a lot, actually. Yeah. We still haven't seen anything from Contraband. Like, we saw that Steely Dan trailer, and then there's not a peep out of that studio for some time. Where's that? How's that getting on? We've heard bubblings last year of Everwild.
What about Everwild?
Like, there are so many games on the list. There's Project Whatever from IOI Interactive. There's this rumored Wu-Tang Clan game that we've heard bumblings about over the last half decade.
It's Project Dragon, I think.
Yeah, but either way, all of this stuff and Double Fine and State of Decay 3, and what are they going to do? Perfect Dark's still coming.
Perfect Dark.
You say Clockwork Revolution?
Clockwork
Revolution. I don't see how anyone that is a fan of video games cannot look at the lineup and be like, I'm so glad that they released these everywhere.
It's funny how everyone does it because we just did it. Whenever people talk about what Xbox has for any given year, everyone consistently forgets to mention Call of Duty.
I was going to say it when you first brought it up, but I had to take the dog out real quick. But and that's
ignore it. So
Call of Duty is their biggest release every year, pretty much.
Yeah, it's almost because that's a given. It's a constant. They're not afraid. Call of Duty isn't afraid to come out with GTA 6. It's just its own monster, so they're always going to put that out. And again, that adds just to it. You got COD. let's say you have Fable, you're going to give us Gears to. I mean, it's just
As
wow, it's
well.
just like
It's a lot of months in the year. They do seem, and it's also like I keep up with the 2025 and 2024 and 2023, everything coming to Game Pass, and try and keep up with that and keep it up to date. And it's already like 40 things this year are coming to Game Pass. So all of that's coming. Like, yeah, it's not going to be a huge game, but like when Replaced hits, like who's not? There's just so much coming for that service. It's
well, and I screwed up the question at the end, and trust me, I've been kicking myself ever since, because that was like the last thing I was asking Phil was about when he was on Kind of Funny, and wasn't in the greatest mood when he was on Kind of Funny, but when he had said then that, hey, I can see it. Like, in other words, I know what the hell is coming. I just like, but don't listen to me. We got to just deliver it, right? And I was trying to get to the point of both him and Matt Booty have talked about getting on this cadence of big release a quarter, blah, blah, blah. It's like, are we there? And it kind of seems like we are, just for everything that we just talked about right now. They have so many IPs that if they're not being delayed, it's like, hell, how do you fit the puzzle together to release them and give them their own room to breathe?
Yeah.
That was the that was Avowed, where it was everyone's like, oh, you got out of the way of like Assassin's Creed Shadows and other stuff before that was delayed. It's like, no, they had their own thing with Stalker 2 where they don't control when that comes out, but it delayed right there. They've got Indie, they've got Call of Duty. It's like, yep, give them more time, probably helps no matter what. And then they're just worried about their stuff because they have so much outside of GTA 6. They're just worried about their own cadence because they have so much to try and figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like you mentioned, everything coming to Game Pass, right? So we've already got the 4 games of the Developer Direct. We've got, I'm just picking a few here. We've got Avowed. We've got Atomfall. We've got
I can't wait for that.
Did you play Elite Resistance?
I played it at Gamescom.
33 Immortals.
Atomfall's
Which one?
Atomfall. I really like what I played.
That's in March, right?
March 27th.
We've got FBC Firebreak, I think, is coming to Game Pass from Remedy.
And PS Plus, they'll be...
Yeah. We've got Fragpunk, which is free to play, but I think you're getting Game Pass
benefits
on that. Mixtape is meant to be this year. We've got Nirvana
I need to go
Noir.
see Johnny about that game. I need to go see him.
Replaced The Alters. Towerborn has yet to get its Xbox Game Pass game preview release. That's meant to be beginning of this. Like, you are eating, you're stuffed to the gills of video games, and that's ignoring third-party stuff like Assassin's Creed Shadows or GTA 6 or what we don't know about
Expedition 33 we just saw. Like,
it is a bonkers.
Replaced is probably coming this year. Yeah,
so good.
Played that at Gamescom. Good game.
It was such a
really deep.
I'm like, this is deep.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And you know what else might be coming to Game Pass this year? MLB The Show again.
That'll probably be March.
It's a fascinating time to be playing video games, is all I can say. And the Developer Direct.
What about Hollow Knight Silksong? Game's not real.
Yeah, come on. It's just
that game's not real. Silksong's not real.
They broke communication silence this week, I think, or last week.
And they said it still exists.
We're doing everything we can. Like, leave us alone. We're working on it. Like, we're on the case. But I look at this and I look at the Developer Direct. It's a great way to start what sounds to be finally is actually for reals going to be the year of Xbox kind of game dominance. Like, Sony have got Ghosts of Yotei.
Sony still have a good year. It's just not they had such a string from like 2017 to almost 2020, and it was it was super compact. But then it either became smaller expansions that didn't sell as well, or like expansions never sell great, but smaller follow-ups that didn't sell as well, that were still very clearly built off of last gen, which people really liked and have done okay. But now we're in that period in between everything, as we've seen with the Insomniac leak and with all the games as a service titles canceled. Like, they're direct, big, super bangers that people got used to. Just they take time. So
yeah.
And the Switch 2 launches this year.
That's the other thing.
Oh my god!
It doesn't even take into account a brand new platform, a whole host of new Nintendo games of their IPs.
That Nick will beg me to get him.
Metroid Prime 4. Oh my god!
A new Super Mario something.
There's a rumor about a 3D Super Mario game, but who knows about rumors?
I don't think Odyssey 2 will be this year.
I'm with Nick that while I want it this year, like it would make sense if they dropped it this holiday. You got to remember the movie is 2026. I could see them kind of holding it back and kind of releasing it around that as well. So because they're going to put Mario Kart's coming this year, so between
just
Mario
going to blow
Kart,
everything away.
Yeah, and Metroid Prime 4, it's Nintendo. They're going to be fine. Plus, they're probably going to have a lot of Xbox games too. So
I'm expecting Sea of Thieves,
Master Chief Collection.
I'm expecting Master Chief Collection. It wouldn't surprise me to see, some Bethesda stuff on there.
Couple grounded on it. Although
rumor
that'll be backwards compatible. So
it might get a patch, but like the rumors of this Oblivion remake. Well, that sounds like a mighty fine launch title, and goes everywhere else at the same time. Doom, Doom ran on the Switch. Like this is a new era of gaming, and I'm kind of all for it now.
You know what I want them to do with the Switch? Because let's be real, they're going to go all in on the Switch. I fully expect Xbox to just go all in on Switch 2. I'm hoping that they can find a way, and I don't know if maybe it's something that PlayStation and Nintendo have to allow or whatever, but I'm hoping they can find a way to get us cross-save on those platforms.
Yeah.
I would love
it's
that
just built
so
the Ubisoft, the Indiana Jones way of it just being per game is right there. They got it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I almost looked at Indy as a sneak peek into why wouldn't they just do that for everything moving forward? So that at a minimum, even if you because again, we're talking about, play anywhere, even if I am buying it on PlayStation or on Switch, I could at least take that progress and I can move it over to another platform via that. That would, why not? Just because CD Projekt Red does that with Witcher and Cyberpunk right now.
Yeah,
so it's possible.
Yeah, Ubisoft's moved into that with everything. It made reviewing when I was reviewing the DLC for Prince of Persia, the DLC branch on the Ubisoft Connect PC launcher picked up my Xbox save, so I could just go right into it. It was beautiful,
amazing.
Yeah. This is how it should be. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the one thing, like through Xbox being in third place. We were talking this show all about ecosystem and ease of use, and I feel like because I have to carefully choose my words here to not be mean. I feel like because so many of perhaps mainstream games media, they just don't. It's not their main platform, and they don't have a real handle on actually how nice it is and some of these perks and niceties of the ease of use of the system, like quick resume and stuff like that. It's genuinely great. We saw that video go viral that Phil Spencer ended up commenting on, right?
That's how Sir Bravian blew up the way he did.
Because he's
like PlayStation only guy that's discovering that, oh my god, this ecosystem is fucking amazing. Like, how good is this? And everyone's like, yeah, bro.
Everyone made fun of it. Just works, and it's like so much when I'm talking with people in gaming and gaming coverage, and the hoops you have to end up jumping through sometimes with even though it's better now, the PlayStation ecosystem and the way their saves work and all that stuff, and entitlement, especially across regions, can be a real pain in the ass. It just works was the joke about the series consoles, but it's like, no, it does. It really does just work way easier than it does anywhere else for me. Even Steam, though Steam's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one as well. I saw, I won't name names. I saw a show earlier this week where, and this is where I'm like, okay, like, I don't know. You're still invested in the console at this point, but I saw a fairly well-known name kind of get like asked, like, what do Xbox need to do to get you on board then? What can they do? And I think the quote, and I'm paraphrasing, was something like they could have, and they listed out some of those games that we were talking about that we don't know when they're coming or what they are, but all of these big exclusive games, or big Xbox games. And they were like, if they're all 10 out of 10s, wouldn't matter. What have you got, Xbox? Wouldn't matter. And it's like, well, what do you want? Like, they didn't have an answer. And it's like, well, at that point, you wonder why Microsoft are doing what they're doing. You're just giving them the answer right there. It doesn't matter what they do, right? I just find that odd, like that attitude of, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, okay, what do we do now? Well, I guess we go everywhere because that's the best way to survive and grow our platform. And I think, that's the premise. I think that this week it's come to fruition, to bring it back full circle to our beginning discussion. This is the new reality of Microsoft and Xbox now. And we're just going to have to deal with it as best we can. And trust me, as a brand called XboxEra, we're like, do we need to still be called this? Should we still be called this?
Maybe our name's even more relevant because it's a new era for Xbox. Ooh, do you ever think about that?
Take it from someone who's been down that road. We're Gamertag Radio, and
you just roll with it, right? You can't even bear to think of changing the name.
Which is funny. Quick story. I'll never forget the first time engaging PlayStation. God, it's probably 10 years ago, and I remember the PR person at PlayStation was hope, but your name's Gamertag. Don't you just talk about Xbox? I was like, no, we can talk about other stuff too, So hey,
I feel like Gamertag's a pretty transferable term nowadays, like across.
It is a bit more. It is a bit
any
more.
system, right? I think Microsoft coined that, and it's just stuck for whatever.
I've never had someone say, "Oh, what's your PSN or your PlayStation Network ID?" They're just like, "Yeah, what's your Gamertag?"
Or your GT. What's your GT, bro? All right, let's dive into some more.
Man, that was a tangent. We started talking about the direct, and all of a sudden, oh my god!
That's why I love
barely
this
talked
show.
about the actual direct itself.
Well, what more can we say? I mean, I'm open
but
to.
we also
if you feel like
streamed
there
it
is.
live, and we talked about it after the show and all that sort of stuff.
It was a
In
fun
the end,
stream.
the direct, in the end, the direct was an incredible show.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of debate online about, was South of Midnight done a bit of disservice going after Ninja Gaiden, and because that was a very impactful start, having Ninja Gaiden just go bang straight up from the beginning was very in your face. And I saw some people felt that maybe South of Midnight was done a disservice following Ninja Gaiden. I don't know if I agree, because South.
I think it's just because they're both
incredible.
third-person action games, so it's like you're showing one of the best ever, followed by one that's like a new IP and isn't really super focused on that in comparison.
I can see the argument for it in terms of how high octane Ninja Gaiden is. Like, it may have been better to throw Doom in straight after Ninja Gaiden,
or even
'cause
clear
they're both, like,
obscure
up there.
Yeah, like up and down, and then you go back up at the end.
Yeah. But
it was still good.
Who are we to criticize, eh?
Nerds.
I know, but seriously though, South of Midnight. I mean, we said it on the stream. Somehow, South of Midnight visually gets better each time I see it.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
It's the audio for me more than anything else. Like, I love the kind of Coraline style of art, and like you can be rest assured when it comes to play that, I'm going to play it with that kind of
Stop motion's going to stay on.
motion
I'm not
effect,
turning that shit off. Like, that's staying on.
But it's the audio and the vibe, I think, that I am in love with that game.
Yeah, but I still from the moment I first saw that game and still now, I still get those slight OG God of War vibes from it. I know it's not the same fixed camera perspective and all that bullshit, but I still get some of the OG God of War vibes from it for some reason, and I adored those games. So just, oh man.
It's gonna
bring
be
on
fun.
April.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to
more
community
questions?
Questions for Parris?
Yeah, but before we do that, we'll quickly deal with this super chat from Ursel, who's a member of the team, but he's chucked $2 in anyway, just to say, hello, Parris. Really glad to see you on the show. So,
yes.
Hi, Ursel.
Well, thank you.
Or Bearded John, as he's also known.
I understand Ursel saying that because Ursel knows I was the one keeping you off the show for a long, long time, so he's very happy to see that you're on now. Listen, Hauer, a member for 7 months. So excited to hear that Phil Spencer plays on a Rock Ally. Phil Spencer plays on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he plays everything, yeah.
But man,
he plays on things we don't know exist.
He was smashing Ninja Gaiden Black because I think maybe he probably doesn't forget that Discord shows what he's playing, but Everyone in my Discord's always spying on what Phil's been playing, taking screenshots of it and posting it in there, saying, "Oh, look, he's playing Gears 2. Ooh, what does that mean?" Ah, now he's playing Ninja Gaiden Black.
If there's one thing you can rely on the internet for, it's to take an innocuous tweet that just means what it means and to build a conspiracy theory out of it. And suddenly there's this next game in the series coming. You know, it's like Phil's shelf and his T-shirts. They just get extrapolated into dreams.
Yeah. I have a feeling probably in the early days, he was doing it as teasers and stuff like that, like his T-shirt and his shelf and all that, but probably not.
Got to be a bit much.
Yeah. Okay, so the first question from the forum from Jesse Brother. And the subject is Parris Lilly's favorite thing to sit on. Happy podcast 247, fellow Milky Way residents. Parris, glad to see you finally came. 2 questions for you. First, how do you feel about people that cover games even if they never went to journalism school? Second, what is your preferred thing to sit on? Recliners, love seats, couches, gaming chairs? All right, I'll stop being cheeky. Just want to apologize for that total dingus that attacked you on our forum way back about your Cyberpunk 2077 chair. I have it on good authority that it was an alternate account used by none other than Snowbike Mike, who calls you his dad and seems like the nicest guy. But I think he's more slippery than a bike on snow.
There you go. It wasn't even a question, really. It was a statement more than anything. But there you go.
Yeah,
I got Snowbike Mike. You know, Mike reached out to me on Twitter and goes, "Hey, I want to get you on XCast." I'm like, "Yeah, no worries, man. Let's do it." And then 2 days later, XCast was gone.
I had nothing to do with it.
Literally, like,
cancelled
later.
Not for that guy.
He's like, "Hey, Nick." He's like,
I think I remember that actually because it's funny. Obviously, there's been various people I've had run-ins with over the years, and I remember him asking me about. You're like, "Do you care if Nick comes on?" I'm like, "I don't freaking care." It's like whatever. It's like, you know, I'll talk to anybody. And then Tim pulled freaking plug, canceled us.
Literally 2 days later, he's like, "Hey, Nick, you know, I watch XboxEra." I go, "Really? You watch XboxEra?" He's like, "Yeah, I watch XboxEra." It's like, "I'd love to have you on." I said, "Yeah, dude, I'll jump on. That's fine." Bang. Sorry, XCast is gone. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, Mike, if you're watching,
I've told
on
you,
the show, bro.
I message him on Twitter all the time. That dude fucking never responds to DMs on Twitter. That's like a month later and like he responds.
That is
Parris,
your first problem. Messaging
do me
Mike.
a favor here.
My God.
Do me a favor, Parris, on this one, right? When we announced our card game, Console Wars, Tim Geddes very kindly with the team at Kind of Funny covered it in their kind of news roundup segment, which massive appreciation from a tiny team like ours. And I pinged him and I sent him a copy. And I think that there was a plan to do like a kind of stream with the Kind of Funny crew playing Console Wars, the card game. I don't think it ever happened, which makes me sad. But we are obviously approaching our Kickstarter backers, getting them in March. And then fun times, we're launching the game at retail at Amazon and everything else. So we are doing an extensive review program where we're sending out copies to creators and media and card game enthusiasts and all of that jazz. And I would literally love to see the Kind of Funny crew play Console Wars in real time. So please give him a nudge. I've still got his address, so I'll just send it again, like when I've got the retail copy to send. But give him a nudge for me. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want to see Kind of Funny engage in the Console Wars with all of their passion and joy of gaming, because I think it would be a funny thing to watch.
I won't show you my screen, but I'm literally texting Mike right now.
Like, I don't have him on Discord. I don't have him on Discord or anything. So Twitter is my only way to DM him because we follow each other there. And then he like won't reply for like donkeys.
He is not going to reply on social media. It's got to be Discord, or you got to literally call him on the phone. Mike is not going to answer anything. That's Mike.
He's a really busy guy with his kids, to be fair. So
yeah, I know that. That is one of the funniest things ever. That's so funny.
Okay, next question is 99 Rukin. From 99 Rukin, sorry. Hello, everyone. My question is just for Parris. The reason why I asked it before to the crew already, but not you. What type of crossover do you want from Xbox? For me, I already said a bro shooter with id Software games, Halo, COD, and Gears, but I like to add using id Tech Engine and Limp Bizkit music. John said racing. Nick and Jesse said a co-op game that's third person, something of the likes of Helldivers. So what is your dream Xbox crossover game that's not another Smash clone? P.S. If you guys want to add more, go ahead. Nothing's stopping you.
No, he already said it. I mean, I think dropping the Gears, dropping the Coug into the world of Doom would be amazing. I would love to see that. I think that would be so good.
They've got so many.
Yeah, that would be. How come we never said that? We always say Halo and Doom. We never said Gears and Doom.
Gears and Doom is probably more thematically
fits better.
accurate, right? What was it? Ruined Beauty or something like that?
Think about it with the chainsaw guns, all
chopping bodies up.
Oh my god, yeah! Because Doom's now got the shield chainsaw.
Yep.
Well, they had the main chainsaw too
with their Lancer chainsaws, and oh my god,
that's made in heaven.
I can't believe.
Then you got Animal Crossing in there, and you're good.
Yeah,
yeah.
It would be entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, Gears and Doom. How the fuck did we not think of that? Seriously.
You're mixing the Cog and the Doom, and so you call it Coom. There you go.
Coom. I don't know if that would work.
Oh.
I don't know. There's all sorts of marketing issues with that one. All right.
Yep.
I think we've got one more for Parris there.
Yes, from
Specifically, good old Collingwood.
Good old Collingwood, yes. Hello, John, Nick, and Jesse, and welcome, Parris. Parris, you're known for your podcasting for Kind of Funny in Gamertag Radio, but you are also known for being Goose to Jorg Newman's Maverick in Microsoft Flight Simulator. How important is Microsoft Flight Simulator to Xbox and Microsoft in general? What is Jorg like? Jorg? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Jorg.
Do you think that Jorg might like to be interviewed by an independent and ambitious Xbox-centric website that has its sights above the wild blue yonder? Also, and this is the most important part of the question.
This is true.
Although I feel that you aren't, are you a fan of the popular 90s sitcom about glorified yuppies set in New York called Friends?
Oh dear. I fear Parris' answer isn't going to be what we want, Nick.
So, to answer your question, I am a fan of almost said Cheers. I am a fan of Friends.
Cheers is good too. Yay!
Yeah, I didn't watch it right away. I don't know. I probably started watching about season 4 or so, but yeah, I love Friends. So that was great.
Yeah, that's
Friends is amazing.
This is our no copyright music, so they don't ping
just
us.
healed the Nick Parris rift immediately. Just then, Parris, it's done. It's fixed.
And then, as far as the flight sim stuff goes, I think you should absolutely reach out to Microsoft and set up an interview with Jorg. Jorg loves talking about planes. He will give you the entire history of aircraft if you let him. He's a really great guy, really fun guy to obviously be with. I've been very lucky to be able to do a few different collaborations with him on flight sim, and it's been awesome every time. And even though we did do a collaboration this year, getting to spend some time with them when we did the stuff at the Grand Canyon for Flight Sim 2024.
Never been more jealous of missing an op. I swear to God. Like that was wow.
That Vision Jet was wild to be able to like if you watch that video I put out, that is truly me taking off and flying that jet over the Grand Canyon. And it was just such an amazing opportunity. And then it was so funny because like Aaron Greenberg and all them, they flew in on it because like when we were landing, they were coming in on the Vision Jet, their own flying from Seattle, and him and I talked about that at the Game Awards, his whole experience in the Vision Jet as well. But the Grand Canyon is truly one of the great wonders of the world. So if you ever get an opportunity to go, absolutely do it. But bringing this back to Flight Sim, it's a very important part of what Xbox and Microsoft is doing. I mean, it precedes Xbox. I mean, Flight Sim has been around forever, right? And it is a visual and technical showcase for them, always has been. Obviously, it had some technical issues at launch this year, but it's in a good place right now. But yeah, man, I mean, that's why, of course they're putting it on PlayStation. Of course they're going to put it on Switch too. You want as many people as you can to be able to check out Flight Sim. And just sticking to Jorg for just a second, that because him and I were talking about this, that Flight Sim community is hardcore. tore.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I mean, even at that event I was at, some of the flight sim creators coming in, I mean, we're talking people that have literally recreated like a real aircraft cockpit. I can't even say it, in their home, simulating that stuff. They have pilot license. They fly planes for real. All this crazy stuff. Like one guy at that event wanted to fly his own plane to the local airport in the Grand Canyon.
Awesome.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
flex?
Mhm.
I'll bring my own. You know?
Yeah. But no, yeah, flight sim's awesome. I mean, it's definitely something that, you know, if you want to invest in the equipment so that you can have all the stuff to do the sim stuff, it's fantastic. But even if you want to do sim stuff, you can literally just pick up a controller and just be, as York would say, a digital tourist. And just, it is a recreation of planet Earth. Any place you can think of to go on planet Earth is represented in flight sim. See, I'm doing my job. I'm a part of
He's
the
gonna be
team.
proud of you right now.
Yeah, he'd be happy.
I think that was the last community question for you,
Directly
Parris.
for Parris. Yes.
Okay.
We'll deal with
So-
the others in a little bit. I'm just conscious of time. How long have you got left?
If Parris still has time and is willing to hang around, my plan is, I reckon, either we go straight to forcing Parris to host What Year, My Dear? Or do we talk about one more pertinent news topic that I reckon Parris might be interested in discussing, which is about the potential, thanks to GTA 6, there's discussion at the moment around, if GTA 6 forces a $100 price tag, is that going to help the industry and everyone starts moving towards $100? Or do we just want to go to the game show?
Here's my suggestion. I only have a few minutes left because I got to go start making dinner, unfortunately. I would love to talk about the GTA thing, and then you invite me on again and we'll do the game show.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Okay, we'll do that. Well, in that case, as you... Come on, the rift is healed, man. He likes friends. Why are you going to be like this when we're live? Why can't you just be normal?
Even though Friends is a ripoff of Living Single. Go look it up. There you go.
Yeah, there is definitely similarities. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Parris, big thank you for coming on the show. It is great to have you on at long last.
Thanks for finally making the time after cancelling on us twice.
He just can't, honestly. He's like a dog with a bone.
With that Gears collection. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you suck that up, Nick. Parris, see us out. Tell everybody where they can find you. They already know, but tell them anyway. Plug Gamertag Radio to your heart's content. Anything you want to say to sign yourself off here before we let you go cook some dinner?
Sure. I'm, like you said, you can find me over at Gamertag Radio, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So just congratulations to Danny Pena and all the hard work that he's done in this industry. Like I said, I am not here without him. And again, we're not even friends at this point. I mean, it's literally family. Love him to death. Obviously I do stuff over at Kind of Funny. Yes, the XCast does not exist anymore, but we still talk Xbox and all games all the time. And when I get the chance, I go up to San Francisco and do stuff in studio with them as well. Actually, I'll be on a few times this week because I know Greg and I are going to talk about our excitement about Avowed this week.
Yeah, it was Wednesday they showed.
Yeah, I'm on again for something else. I forget, but I'm on 2 times coming up this week, so definitely check that out. And obviously, I'm on social media, Vicious696, still on Twitter, Blue Sky, all that stuff. So you can check me out there as well. And again, I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, I know it was a long time coming. Glad that I'm finally here. Glad that we've had a great conversation. I hope it's not the last time, Nick. According to Nick, I guess it's the last time I'm not coming on.
Nick has no control.
He has no power here.
No, but I mean, Nick, we haven't met in person, but John, I've met in person. Jeremy, I've met in person. Great people, and it's been awesome, man. It's been good.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yep.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of the weekend, and we'll keep an eye out on your Kind of Funny. We'll see you then.
All right, I appreciate it. You have a good rest of the show.
Chris.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Cheers, man.
See you later, Paul.
He did call you Jeremy, but it was an accident, so let's forgive it. Yeah,
I'm with Nick now.
It's always a flutter when you're talking live.
Nope, I'm with Nick now. It's over.
Chat, it's been a heck of a show thus far. What do you want us to do?
Gary,
Didn't even value us enough to stay over making dinner.
Ooh,
Honestly,
see,
overeating
Nick, you
food
hate
for
your
his
kids.
family, you know.
Some people actually like their family.
It's true. It's true. I like my kids.
That should
all right.
show you.
Oh, sorry, not
how
Nick.
much-
Um,
how important
Knack and
Xbox
Jim.
Era is to me.
Yeah,
See?
we've got some super chats. You wanna take care of them?
Yeah, we got one from Lois.
Okay. Lewis.
No, Lois.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black and Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is a perfect template how to remaster and preserve games. No need to do a full remake. Onimusha, Hitman, Gears, and Fallout deserve the same treatment.
It depends heavily on does the game hold up.
old?
Because I would say Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, which Black is based on, still plays well. Like it still holds up. But while they made really nice graphical changes with Aspire and Saber and Crystal Dynamics on Legacy and Soul Reaver, I don't think those games hold up gameplay wise at all. So a remaster can only go so far. It's very nice to have them on new consoles at the very least.
I have to say, if you are smart and intelligent enough to follow me on Twitter, I retweeted an incredible thread on Ninja Gaiden Black 2.
Yeah, on how the tech
game
works?
apart. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I was
'cause
very intrigued.
playing Ninja Gaiden 2, I'm like, okay, this is an Unreal Engine 5 remaster / remake / port, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, this feels exactly like Ninja Gaiden with the wonky camera, the feel of it, or everything. I'm like, how have they done this in Unreal Engine? Because it's on a completely brand new modern engine. Then when I saw this thread pop up on Twitter, take apart how the game was built in Unreal Engine, I'm like, holy shit. It's like the Halo CE remake, but using Unreal Engine 5. So it's like this new skin over the top of the base C++ code. I'm like, what? I'm like, holy crap. So for all those people that are like, oh no, how's Halo going to feel in Unreal Engine? It's gonna feel fine.
They're not
Yeah,
taking
it's gonna
Halo
feel
Infinite and
completely
reskinning it
fine.
though.
No, I know they're not. But the point is, if Unreal Engine 5 has that sort of, is this the right word? Interoperability?
So that's
that's a
you're
good word.
taking the skeleton of a game and just changing the looks versus completely building the game. So like Halo 6 or whatever they end up calling it, Halo 7.
No, I understand that. I get that. But the point is, if Unreal Engine 5 is that malleable and has that, and I just looked it up, John, it is a good word, interoperability. If Unreal Engine 5 has that kind of interoperability, then I don't think anyone should have to worry about
In
it.
this way, it wouldn't matter because they're not building on top of anything. It's only Unreal Engine 5 for the next Halo.
I know. No, I know.
He's just saying,
but-
like, if they wanted to make it feel exactly like the old games, they could do it in this way. That's what
that
he's saying.
C++.
But then-
They could take that C++ code that
They wouldn't do that.
I'm just saying. They
Why are
could
you
use
arguing against hypothetical? It makes no sense.
Because I'm Jeremy now, and Jeremy doesn't give a shit.
in the end, the point is, I don't think we're going to have to worry about how Halo feels in Unreal Engine. That's my point.
I'll worry.
But yes, I love remasters and remakes when they're done well, and like Dead Space will forever be one of the best. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4. When they're done well, it gets to a point where sometimes I almost prefer them to new games. Sometimes when they're done really, really well, because not only do you have that nostalgia hit, it becomes a newer, better quality game as well.
Yeah.
Everyone should play Dead Space Remake. Everyone. It's amazing.
Jeremy has not
Jesse
played it
was
yet. I
silly.
can't wait to.
Man, let it
Jesse
go.
was silly. I don't think Jeremy would give it a 10 out of 10, but Jesse was silly enough to.
Yeah. I like
I
Jeremy.
would-
Jeremy still hates Super Mario Odyssey, though. He thinks it's shit. Jesse is like, oh, it's technically brilliant, but Jeremy's like,
Jeremy's
Mario's a cuck. Like, he's never going to get Peach. He's even worse than Bowser. No.
whatever.
Iwata was a fraud. Whoa.
Next super chat. Jordan White. Besides COD, do you think we get any games in the fall/winter? Xbox putting these games close
No.
together now might be them getting the fuck out of the way for GTA 6. Better to overlap release schedules than have another bad year.
Yeah.
This year could not be bad.
Yeah. I think they're going to have full releases. They'll have full releases. Of course they will.
I think it would be smart to get something into June or July.
Yeah.
Something. Give something. It's like, look at The Last of Us. Look, to me, The Last of Us will always be that perfect example of how a game can find success being the only thing in June/July. That game released June 2013, the year the PlayStation 4 was coming out. Like, I think they should give June or July a serious consideration for something. Maybe whatever.
That's the
like,
we know the rumor from Nate, which is June is the Oblivion remake.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I haven't heard that. Sorry.
That was his rumor, guess rumor, who knows which is which podcast.
But then it does sound like Switch 2 is coming in June. So you may not want to...
That's true.
You may not want to get steamrolled by the Switch 2 in June. So maybe it makes sense to get it all out before Switch 2. Yeah.
If the game's just coming out on Switch 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also a good point.
Jeremy couldn't give two shits about the Switch, but Jesse's hoping to get one from Nintendo PR and not give it to Nick. He told me that while I was kissing his wife.
I need to try and get a Switch 2 from Nintendo. I don't think it'll happen, but...
You're really close. You're closer than me.
I can drive to Nintendo.
Yeah.
I can literally
just take a boat up to Japan and say, hey.
No, there's Melbourne headquarters.
Oh,
They've got a Melbourne
headquarters
down here. But yeah. So, do we want to... We're only at 2 hours. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good 2 hours of discussion as well. I liked it.
Do we want to have a discussion about $100 games?
I mean, I have an opinion on it. So
I have an opinion on the gaming industry that covers these stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, go. You kick off, Nick, with where you want to go, and then we'll dive into what you want to do.
Oh, I just thought it was an interesting... I'm seeing it pop up all over my For You tab on Twitter. And, you know, people saying, oh, yeah, you know, GTA 6 can justify $100. I vehemently disagree with that. Just because GTA 6's budget is massive, to me, that doesn't justify an $100 price tag. It
wouldn't even be about the budget. It would be that people would pay it. That's how it would justify. People would want the game so bad they pay it.
I don't know if I agree with the stock edition of GTA 6. People would pay $100. I'm not saying no people would pay $100, but I don't know if... I personally don't know if the masses would pay $100. Like, an $100 GTA 6 in Australia would be closer to $200. I just don't think people will pay that just to get the standard edition of a game.
I would say to you that if, you know, the last PlayStation numbers I had as the market leader, they were like 48% of players are still on PS4. I would argue that if those players want to play GTA 6, if it's this seminal moment of the gaming industry for this generation in terms of the biggest of all possible games, they're going to be paying a lot more than $100 to play GTA 6 because you only need to buy a console that can play it. So those people that want to buy the game will be spending $500 to play GTA 6 from the generation that haven't upgraded.
So, well, thanks to GTA 5 now, I get that, but thanks to GTA 5, we know that we're not getting GTA 7 for 15 years, probably, right? Yeah. So we're not in a rush. We don't have to have GTA 6 day one. We know games go on sale. Maybe people go, Jesus, $100 just for the base edition of the game. Nah, I'll wait for a sale, thanks. No, thank you.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a lot of money.
Do you want to see the guy who started all this?
Yeah, this is the other point. This is, you know, the gaming industry has hope. This is all coming from one human being on the planet, one analyst that says, oh, the gaming industry has hope that, you know, this could set a new precedent for $100.
He is the CEO of Apillion, Matthew Ball, who says, in the gaming industry, there's hope. There's no context on who, when, where. I hate that these stories take off. No one checks into it. No, they literally just say, Matthew Ball, CEO of Apillion, says that he believes people in the industry want. It's like, what people? How is it a story if one guy says he heard? That's not
Where's all the stories of, like,
that's not a
torn-
goddamn news story. That is one guy saying he heard some shit. I don't care. It was the same shit with we reported on headlines. NCSoft's Horizon MMORPG has been seemingly canceled. I got that off VGC and IGN and a whole bunch of other ones, and I didn't read into it until after the goddamn show to find out no, it hasn't. That's not even what was reported. They didn't bother to actually check out what the guy said originally in Korean. And these friggin' news stories are just for clicks. This is clickbait, 1,000,000,000%. It's not an actual news topic. There's nothing here.
Where's the news
But I
topic
don't
that's
mind
like Torn Raptor, CEO of XboxEra, says go to patreon.com/XboxEra and subscribe and support this outlet. Like, why isn't anyone writing about that? He's a CEO.
I don't mind the discussion it has generated, though.
I hate it. Jeremy likes it. It's too bad he left.
If games started to head towards $100, I think that helps Microsoft to an extent. It makes Game Pass even better value in a world where games start to cost $100. So I think Microsoft would be praying games head towards $100 because that just makes Game Pass incredible value. You'd be crazy not to be on Game Pass in a world of $100 games. But I also feel that $100 games means that developers now will turn around and go, ooh, our budgets can go up even more now because look, we're selling our games for $100.
It's so rough. I don't think they want that people would think that way because there's no investment. So it's like right now it's really hard to get your shit made at all. So people are trying to figure out how to do it cheaper. And I do think enough people would know. The issue is going to be the big dumb executives who don't know. So developers wouldn't want that, but executives would be like, holy shit, look what GTA is doing. And then it's like Phil responding to that email about why not just buy Nintendo? The actual video game people have to come in and say, yeah, GTA 6 is a unicorn that nothing can match. Nothing. And you have to try and sell them on that, or else you get, all the dog shit we've been going through. But like, I always, the conversation of we're lucky that games don't cost more, I get and I understand. But they do because they've learned how to monetize them in a way they never used to. So even though the base, so it's the friggin' the cheap entry to get you to then have to pay more later. Like the first hit's free. Like that is the video game industry now. So that wouldn't change if they up the price to $100. They would still go for all those microtransactions. And the moment people see that, it wouldn't work anymore. Like Matt Piscatello was talking about, you still need that really big bucket to get people in. And video games have taken off because they're still affordable. The per hour cost of video games is way cheaper than going to the bar and drinking. Why bar culture is dying. No one goes out to the bar because you're spending $100 a night. And then it's gone. Everything you did there is gone. It's not like you spent $70 and this is the shit you play every night you get home from work. Like it's a very different.
I loved
paradigm.
seeing Matt Piscatella on GamesMess. Like it was really refreshing to have someone that actually like
an actual expert.
Yeah, like and had some really fascinating insight that was worth listening to. Highly recommend. Folks, go check out Giant Bomb's Game Mess episode with Matt Piscatella.
He did bump Nick, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Matt was
was
the better
bumped
guest.
for Matt.
Better guest by far. Good choice, Jeff Grubb.
It would have been the Nintendo show otherwise.
Yeah. Switch too.
Now, as someone with very little interest in GTA 6, I actually, just as an experiment, would love to see if they had the balls to go to 100. Because I'd like to see how it... I would genuinely love to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Because to me, COD is another game that could potentially justify $100. You get a campaign, you get multiplayer, you get Warzone, you get zombies, you get this... That's a package and a half. Like, you get a lot with COD, and it's high production value, and it's high budget, and it's high. So, I don't think Microsoft would dare go to 100. So I would be genuinely curious to see if Rockstar has those cojones.
But equally,
whether they do that,
they could just do what most gaming publishers do. Hey, the base edition of the game with none of the cool stuff is $70. Hey, but this version gets you 3 days early access and
there's going to be $100
shark
version
cards, and that's
No.
100. And
But we're used to deluxe editions being expensive. That's the beauty of the deluxe editions. The deluxe editions are the moneymaker because they give you a bunch of stuff that actually costs $0 and charge you an extra $20, $30 for it. That's why the deluxe editions are so prevalent. And there's now tiers of deluxe editions because that's where the moneymaker is. That's why you see Microsoft now doing, hey, if you subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, just buy the premium upgrade on its own. And it's like $30, $40.
Yeah, it's $15 for a stay south of midnight.
Yeah, like you're giving Microsoft the literally free money. That costs them $0 to do that. There's no cost involved in doing that. So that's why the companies love that. My assumption in this discussion was that the base game, the stock standard edition with no bells and whistles, is $100.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I'd be genuinely curious to see if they've got the balls to do it and how it plays out. Hopefully, Jesse can get me a code for GTA 6 and sell it as, we have this guy that hates GTA games. Can we get him a code to see if you can swing him on it?
That would never work. The way you always do it is we've got a podcast. We're all hosts on it. The more codes we can get, the more we can talk about it for our customers outside of the review that Nick will not be doing. I would do.
Oh, God. How would I review GTA 6? Even if I love the game and wanted to play it, it would take me 3 years to complete it. How would I get a review out?
who knows?
I still haven't beat GTA 4.
With your map clearing, it would probably take you forever with your OCD.
I haven't beat GTA 4.
You never made the choice at the end. That sucks. I fucking hate the ending of that game. Because there's no good ending. They both suck.
I just couldn't complete 4. It plays like shit. Even at 60 on the Series X, it still doesn't play well.
If I modded it up for you on PC, you'd probably like it.
And the funniest part is, I used to love Grand Theft Auto. I used to love it. I had 3 on PS2, Vice City, San Andreas. Loved them. And I got so excited for GTA 4. I lined up, got the collector's edition with the lockbox and all the extra. I was so pumped for that game was an event for me, GTA 4. I still remember it vividly to this day. April 2008. And I played it and I was like,
it was the beginning of them really pushing their physics systems, which are really good.
Oh my God, and the animation.
Yeah, the way the physics interact with everything was still probably the best for their car physics in 4, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very much a similar situation to Red Dead on Xbox One and PS4. Controls like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot recommend playing the game there. It feels really bad to play. Then you play it on PC, whether with a mouse and keyboard or a controller on PC. Amazing. One of the best things I've ever played. Just feels wise.
I don't. It's whatever.
Yep.
It's GTA. The only reason I ever played GTA games was never for like story. It was just to immediately tool up and like just wreak havoc. Which is why I like Crackdown so much, because it was that without any of the bullshit. You know,
you just wanted to go in there and take out your anger on your wife.
Yes,
that's why I always loved Crackdown. Crackdown was like, here, let's streamline GTA, because it was made by the original creator of GTA, Crackdown.
Yep.
Let's
Doug
take
Jones.
GTA. Yes, strip out all the bullshit, focus on the fun, and I adored it. I adored Crackdown. It's incredible. I love it so much.
I see you reading the chat, John. Shut up.
Yeah, is this breaking news? Let's go check here.
What?
They're not going to buy it for that much.
What?
It's Finn in the chat. Breaking news: small TikTok in talk with Oracle and Microsoft to take over global operation of TikTok, and ByteDance say that the app is worth $200 billion.
It's on the verge.
I wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, they were talking about it before.
Buys TikTok. That's the end of TikTok. Look at Skype. if Microsoft buys TikTok, see you later, TikTok. They'll wreck it.
Yeah.
Just like Skype.
According to NPR. But I mean, TikTok, ByteDance is like, they're in talks with everybody. It would be.
MS have tried to buy Discord before, Brit. I don't think Discord said yes. So
yes, they tried. They did. They tried to buy Discord, and that fell through. that did not happen.
Yeah, so the whole thing is it's trying to only sell half because like Trump's thing is like, yeah, sure, you can keep running, and even though it's highly illegal and you should be getting hundreds of millions of dollars of fines. But I digress.
But yeah, I also think $100 games means like we want everyone getting their budgets under control. Like,
yeah,
Nintendo has already been showing you for the better part of 15 years that you can make really good games cheaply. Now, I will say before Jesse inevitably jumps in,
I was listening.
Conditions at Nintendo maybe aren't ideal.
Oh no, they are
games.
routinely one of the highest rated companies in all Japan on their version of Glassdoor. They're supposed to be great to work at, but when you look at
you still hear horror stories.
But that's the Japanese game industry, and that is Japanese work culture. That's not Nintendo. That's everyone. It is funny. People talk so much about Japan and Japanese game developers, but like I read a story the other day, and it might be total bullshit because it's the internet, but old ladies are committing crimes to get thrown in jail so they can find friends. Like there's this weird loneliness and lack of having kids and relationships like epidemic in Japan. Like there are some issues there.
Wow.
There's a super chat.
Yeah. JD Gamer. What if Microsoft's plan is to have GTA 6 plus Game Pass plus Series S be the entry point to the current gen for the millions still left on PS4, Xbox One? The cost to Microsoft...
He's not saying G6 in Game Pass, but 6 availability Game Pass. The cheapest would be Series S.
You market you want to play GTA 6? You know, you can buy the Xbox Series S. Comes with a month of Game Pass. You can get GTA 6 at the lowest cost of any next-gen console. It is a good thing, and they should definitely try and market it. Like, absolutely.
Because if you're playing GTA Online at some point, you need Game Pass for the online anyways.
How is GTA 6 going to run on the Series S?
I think it'll run fine because they're really good at optimizing. Like, look at what GTA 5 ran on the Xbox 360, bro. It was massive.
True. That's
like
true.
They'll manage it.
They've been aiming for hardware of this level for a very long time. They're not worried about PC right now. They're all in on this generation.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm just sad that it's not going to have a 60 mode.
Yeah, and like I resent the fact that I would play it, but I'd obviously want to play it at 60 or 120. So I'd wait for the PC version. But I hate the fact that they know that that they can make gamers double dip.
That's going to be my experience reviewing it. Is I'm going to be like, I need one Xbox and one PC code, and I play for like 10 hours on Xbox.
There's no
and then
PC
I play.
Code.
Oh fuck,
There's no
that's
PC.
right.
There's
God
no
damn it.
That's what I mean.
I
They will
review it 8
force-
months later, only on PC. How's that?
Yeah, they'll FOMO people and be like, yeah, okay, you can buy it now on consoles. Enjoy. Okay, right, we'll wait 9 months, maybe a year. Here's the PC version. Now you can all go buy it again. Great, I enjoy that performance. And then the next consoles will come out. Go, here's the remastered one. We'll get you to triple dip. Lovely, and they'll do it. And
Sydle?
People will buy it.
Sydle, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony hasn't Sony always had marketing for GTA games?
No.
No.
Microsoft had it for 4.
Microsoft had it with Ballad of Gay Tony and their other.
Okay.
They had the single player expansion.
That DLC only existed because Microsoft paid for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it depends, but I look at like how Microsoft are lately, and if they don't care about hardware, do I see them dropping the dollars to get the marketing for GTA 6?
Do I see PlayStation doing it? I'm curious because they are really trying to cut costs. I know they normally do, but right now it is a different period for them. Do they feel like they have to? I don't know.
Be interesting anyway.
I will say, do we think GTA 6 gets a Switch 2 port?
Cloud, maybe.
No idea.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon it could get a native.
I mean, if the Switch
That
2
would be huge.
if the Switch 2 can get it native, then it's going to run amazingly well in the Series S.
I could see Rockstar doing everything in their power to get that game running on the Switch 2. Can you imagine how huge that would be?
And then Nintendo gets weird about like
Portable.
the sex scenes or something in it, despite the fact that their entire fucking eShop is honeypot
It's hentai.
ripoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that would be huge. Portable GTA 6. That would be.
See, if Phil's son has made some trips to whatever the hell that creepy guy from Take-Two's name is.
I can't remember.
No. Strauss.
Yes, Zelnick.
Zelnick. Yeah, Strauss Zelnick in the character in Red Dead Redemption 2 named Strauss is a slimy, weaselly con man who wants to make money at any cost.
So yeah, well that was the other piece of news that I wanted. Not that it's news per se, but it was. I thought it was
think
something
talk about
worth discussing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I guess we can go to our amazing game show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can.
Whereas I took a bite of chocolate. 1 second, hitting the button. It's what year, my dear? And welcome back. Hello, everyone. It's what year, my dear?
As always on the XboxEra podcast, Nick and I like to do battle as a token of appreciation more than anything else of our wonderful Patreon community. Every week, we pick a Patreon member at random for us to represent in the ultimate fight, duel to the death with a city game show. If you want to be in a chance to be selected for this, just head to patreon.com/XboxEra where you can pledge your support and keep us alive, which we really appreciate because
we lost a couple this week. We need
by
more.
the state of this industry, we kind of need you. Nick, who are we playing for this week?
I am playing for Pipes, and John is playing for Didact 3.
Excellent. The good news is I have replaced my very broken phone, so I can play successfully. Because if this would have been a problem, because
you would have to get a pen and paper.
Now.
All right, gentlemen, the category for this week is id Software.
Ooh.
It's just games published by id Software.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We're going old school with the very first one. Gentlemen, what year did Commander Keen in the Invasion of the Vorticons release on the DOS PC system?
Holy crap. Man.
This is their very first published title.
Fucking hell. Commander Keen.
And by the way,
Jesus.
the platform matters. I went by platform on certain things because why not? This was DOS. DOS. Gentlemen, give me your years in 3, 2, 1. Closer without going over is one Nicholas Baker.
Oh.
It was 1990.
Oh.
Yep.
Really? I thought 80s for sure.
Nope.
Wow.
Well, one more recent. Gentlemen, what year was Quake Champions released on PC?
Fucking
I'll give you a few seconds,
Quake
Nick.
Champions.
Quake Champions on PC, like the actual release.
How old is Quake Champions?
I have no idea.
I will say this, more recent than I thought for the full release, according to Wikipedia.
Quake Champions.
Gentlemen, give me your years in
I have no
3,
idea.
2,
Yeah.
1. You are you're both wrong. It was 2022.
What?
Really?
Like the actual full this is out, according to Wikipedia. If they're
That
wrong,
was
yell at
literally
Wikipedia.
the most random of random guesses that I ever could have done.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. Well, what year? Why did the music stop? Who hit something? Oh, it's not a
I didn't
repeat.
touch it.
It turned off loop. I don't know why. Oh, because
I turned off loop
you
earlier.
motherfucker. Yeah, I know. Gentlemen, it also starts out way too loud every time, and I got to lower it, and then it's too low. What year did Doom 2 release on the PlayStation 1?
Oh, fuck off.
Oh my
No.
God.
It's a game show.
Fuck off.
No, thank you.
Oh, I don't know.
Gentlemen, give me your
Oh, fuck
years
off.
in 5, 4, 3,
Watch
2,
John
1.
guessed this correctly by accident.
You both went over. It's 95.
Ah.
Oh,
I hate
I was
this.
going to say 95, but I didn't think it'd be that
I
close
hate
to
this game.
PlayStation launch.
This is a stupid game.
I'm like, it wouldn't have been like basically a launch year title. I'm like, probably a year later. Fuck.
Gentlemen, what year did Wolfenstein 3D release on the Game Boy Advance?
Oh,
Oh
fuck
my
you.
God.
Fuck you in the ass.
Oh my
You're-
God.
I don't even know the years of the Game
You
Boy
are
Advance.
going to hate the next one even more, John.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I
Gentlemen,
don't
give
know.
me your year
Wait.
in 5,
I don't
4,
I don't
3.
know.
Stop Googling stuff, Nick. 3, 2,
Googling. I'm writing on my iPad.
94
I don't even
and
know.
2000.
Like, am I even...
Closer without going over is one Nicholas Baker. It was 2002.
Wow. Didn't even know.
That wasn't a full stab in the dark, but it
Well,
was
you
like
know
50,
when things come out. John doesn't know when any hardware came out. Makes this game fun. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
what year did Commander Keen in Keen Dreams come out on Android?
What?
You're a prick. You are the
When did iPhone first come out? Think a little later than that.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, give me your years in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closer without going over is one John Sikamika Nico Clark,
Hey, I
as it
finally
was
got a fucking point on the board.
2012.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Gentlemen, this one does favor Nick. You know, it shouldn't really, because there's only fucking like 3 years when it could have been. When did Quake 3 Arena come out on the Dreamcast?
I've got no idea.
You should. The Dreamcast was out for like 2 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's fine.
What 2 years? Can't remember. I don't know.
Stop smoking drugs. Gentlemen, give us your years in
I'm just
3,
gonna guess this by
2, 1. Yep, you both got it right.
accident. I told you he was going to guess it by accident.
Well, you put yours up too
Fucking-
soon, so he
just
quickly
like-
wrote it. Now, one John should know, but he'll probably say like 2033. What year did Doom 3 release on the original Xbox?
Oh. Fucking hell.
Oh, shit.
The only version of the game to have co-op.
On the OG
Oh.
Xbox.
Yes.
OG Xbox.
Gentlemen, give me your years in 5. Ursula said 07. Ursula's smoking crack. In 3,
The hell?
2,
07?
1. Taking the lead with 2 points ahead of Nick is John, as he was correct. It was 2005.
05?
Fucking yeah. If I recall, it was one of the last like big games to be released on the platform, and it was the same year 360 was on the way, I think.
Really?
Gentlemen,
I
what
actually knew that
year
one, I think.
did Rage release on the PC, PS3, and 360?
God, I loved Rage.
Good game.
God, I loved Rage.
I really liked Rage 2's gameplay. They just messed
I
up.
haven't
where
played 2.
Rage 2's gameplay is amazing the moment you unlock every ability, but that's when the game ends. It's very stupid. Give me your years in 3, 2, 1. 2009, 2011. Jumping back in the lead is one
Fuck.
Nicholas Big Dick Baker.
I wish.
Oh, big nose. How's that?
Yeah, big nose is true.
You got something that can go in things.
What's
Gentlemen.
the classic?
I've got 2
No.
kids. So either I got cheated on or something works.
The line of work is like, I've only got a little dick, but I've got 14 stone to push it in with. That's
Yeah, that's right.
that's the chat.
I'm not-
line.
We
I'm
are
not
now
heavy
canceled. Gentlemen, what year did Rescue Rover release on DOS?
Oh, fuck off!
What's
with
Rescue
these
Rover?
fucking DOS
I've
It was
bullshit.
never heard of
It was an
Rescue
id
Rover.
software
Rescue
published
fucking
game.
Rover.
Yeah.
I don't even like.
You want me to look it
I
up?
don't
Res-
even know what Rescue Rover is.
Oh, I'm gonna go with fuck. I don't know. It was DOS even around here? Let's go for it. All right. Sure.
It was a puzzle video game developed by id Software and published by Softdisk in 1991.
Wait, you've just given
You
us
just
the
said
answer.
year.
I forgot.
Okay, well that's
Read the whole
cool
thing.
because I already had
No
it typed.
points.
Had it typed.
Don't care.
Had it typed before.
You made me look it up, so now that one just doesn't count. What's Rescue Rover?
I was
There's your answer.
actually going to say 1990.
This is where he's going to be like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, Rescue Rover 3. And then we'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck.
No, the next one's going to be, when did Doom RPG release on mobile phones? Not Android or iOS. Before them.
What? Why are you doing this to us, bro?
Huh? Doom RPG? What
Yep.
is Doom RPG?
It was a flip phone game.
Why are you being this way? I have questions. Why are you,
I don't
you
know.
did this on purpose?
Yeah, of course.
I have no idea what this is.
All right. You know what? Let me look it up. Doom RPG.
Don't give us the
Gameplay.
answer.
I'm just looking up gameplay this time. So this is on a Motorola flip phone. Motorola Razr, it looks like. Here, if you look at this, you can look at the stream. It won't hurt you. No one in the chat knows. They're all idiots. This is what the game looks like. I'm sorry, chat. You're not idiots.
Hold on, let me go to the feed. Hold on.
So
Oh my god, that.
Yeah, what you're seeing, that is a flip phone screen.
All right. Okay.
That's
I'm
all it
willing to
is. It's
take
just
a
that
punt.
little square.
I'm taking a punt on this.
Oh, you know
It
what?
has
Let
to
me...
be a guess. I had never heard
All
of
right,
Doom
one sec. I want to show the whole
before
thing.
this.
There. So this,
What?
give it a few seconds. This is Doom RPG
Oh my
on flip
God.
phones.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I remember
Wow.
this. I never played it, but I have heard of this before. All right, gentlemen,
Wow.
give me your years in 3, 2, 1. Doom RPG. Wow, how the fuck did John nailed it?
Fucking yeah.
What?
I literally was like a couple of years before the iPhone came out. So the industry starts gearing up. Because it's got to be the color screen type of phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you recall, like color screens and stuff started coming just before like touch screens. So yeah, all right, I'm happy.
Well, no,
with
Makes
that.
sense
color
logically.
screens came.
Well,
as
if you want to
someone
get
who
mad
worked
at me about
in
the rest,
retail in mobile phones, I
what
know when color screens
year
came.
did Quake Live come to web browsers?
Oh fucking hell. Quake Live.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here. Just like now, it's like a game of like, don't go over.
The
You know,
rest of
like,
them, the rest of these are all legitimate systems, you know. But this one is
To
Quake
me,
Live
web
on browsers.
When did web browsers become capable of running games?
Gentlemen, give us your year in 3, 2, 1.
Total guess.
Fuck me. Another 3 for John.
Fucking yeah, boy.
God damn
I've
it.
never seen anyone get so many random guesses correct.
I'm with you, Nick. I'm
love
sick
it.
of it.
So
Gentlemen.
bullshit.
What year did Rage 2 come out on the Xbox One, PC, and PS4?
Oh, that's
Oh,
yeah, that's
shit.
recent.
That's one of the ones we should know.
Yeah.
I played it. It's really good halfway through. You are way too weak early on, and then you start getting all the unlocks. You can beat that game without getting any of them.
I love Rage 1.
But like Rage 2's gameplay is legitimately amazing once you've unlocked every ability, but then there's nothing left to do except for beat the game. So it's like, what the fuck? Give us your years in 3, 2, 1. Nailing it once again and pulling away even more is John.
It
God
was
damn
just
it.
the year before next.
And I was going to say 2019, and I thought, do I adjust 1 year back just in case to not go
John
over?
has all the luckiest guesses, and Nick has all the poorest decisions. Gentlemen, if Nick wants to win, he's got to get these next 3 right. What year did Tiles of the Dragon release on DOS?
Oh,
Another puzzle game, I think.
fucking hell.
Give me your years in 3, 2, 1. God damn it, Nick nailed it, but so did John. It's over.
I was literally like, all the DOS games have been like 91. Let's go a year on. They've done
I
a
said
sequel.
92. I said 92 because Doom was 93, so it had to be before 93.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
other
fair.
game we did just before was 91, so I'm like, it has to be 92.
Yeah, yeah.
You just
Alright.
fucking guessed.
No, I
I rationalized it in my head. You just fucking guessed.
All right, bro. All right.
What year did Quake come out on the Sega Saturn?
Fuck.
What do you mean, fuck? It's not hard to know when the Sega Saturn was out. It was also a few years.
Know. I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, so your ignorance
Yeah,
is more.
I am ignorant. I'm an ignorant
You're
person,
yelling about how
alright?
shamed you are about your lack of
Oh,
knowledge.
Shit. All right, I'm changing my year, and I'm gonna regret it.
Yeah, let me DM you, Nick. All right, give me your years in 3, 2, 1. Oh, thank God you changed it, Nick. You got it right. You can get it a little closer. You
Oh,
can't
I
win.
had 96.
Mm.
I had
You fucking
96.
you.
Oh, I
Should I add a-
changed it at the last second to 97.
What are we clapping for?
You can't see, but
Gamsley.
yeah, Nick's reading chat. He's cheating. I'm kidding. You can't cheat on this one.
You can't really cheat on this.
No.
It doesn't really
No,
Can-
I've got.
I know. I'm kidding.
I'm told my
this one
thing
doesn't
to
matter.
be fan funding, so I don't miss.
Ursel
super
deleted a
chats and
message.
stuff.
What are you doing, Ursel? What
I've
message
got
you
fan
deleted?
funding up, so I don't
Ah,
miss. super
that's
chats.
smart.
Mhm.
That's smart.
Because you know how you can filter it
Mhm.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
normal
yeah.
chat and fan funding? So I've got just fan funding up so I can see super chats.
Thank
So
you,
yes,
Gamsley.
Thank you very
Big-
much for gifting
Big
10
thank you,
memberships.
Gamsley. That is very
Wow.
kind.
Yeah.
Well, apologies to whoever Ursel just yeeted into the sun in his excitement. I'll have to take his powers away. He deleted. He didn't kick anyone. He deleted a message. That poor message
Oh.
is gone forever. Sorry. All right, gentlemen. Final one for funsies, unless Nick gets it right, and then I'll do one more so that he can have a chance to win.
Wait, what?
What year did Doom VFR come out for PC and PSVR 1? It was the
What?
Doom VR game for. What do you mean what? The Doom VR game. Jesus Christ, that's not some weird thing that no one's heard of before.
I have never heard of Doom VFR.
Okay, you know, I'll show it to you. Jesus Christ, do you know when the PSVR was out? It's literally one of the platforms.
Is it?
That's what I said.
Fucking
Pay
hell.
attention.
I don't know.
Every video says
Like
genuinely
OG
terrible.
Doom. OG
I'm
Doom.
No.
tossing up. No, I'm tossing up between 2 years here. Do I do what I just did a second ago and change it last second from what I've got right now?
It was VR Doom
Shit.
2016-ish, but it wasn't
I'm
good at
either
all.
a year early or I've got this spot on. One or the other.
Fucking hell.
Jesus
Right,
Christ,
right.
John. When did the PSVR 1 exist? Oh, me brains.
1997.
Christ, you fucking numpty. Come on, come on.
Guys,
Oh, wait, no,
give
people.
me a break.
No, I gotta make sure people know I'm only kidding, because otherwise they'll quit Patreon thinking we hate each other. Gentlemen, what year? In 3, 2, 1. You both nailed it.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fucking sick of that bullshit.
Who won, Nick?
Man.
What person?
Didact.
Didact. Didact. DM me on whatever, and I'll give you a thing.
Fucking bullshit, man. At least with Name a Game, there's a bit more, less randomness to it.
Did I do
love
what year, my dear,
randomness.
last week?
I
I can't remember.
don't know.
Someone said twice in a row, and I forgot.
Oh.
Might have done another one in between that wasn't.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
we
think it's
just
a
like
massive
we just
deal.
play Name a Game on our days off. We're just like, hey, can we get together and
Yeah.
just play?
Yeah, we got together last night and played it for fun.
Just for
did.
funsies. All right. I think it is that point in the show where we once again shout out our wonderful appreciation to our patrons. But before we do that, we're
Super
going to
chat.
deal with a super chat.
From Assassin. Jesse, please do it like this more. This is hilarious.
Not many companies are like it. It is just everywhere, which is why when
Epic.
Phil went to them,
I reckon you could do Epic
Oh,
like
yeah.
this, because Epic's been going since Jazz Jackrabbit.
Yeah.
But id's thing has always been being everywhere, which is why you knew when Phil said, I asked them where they want to be. He was like, yeah, they want to be everywhere.
You could do Minecraft versions and release dates. That would
Oh
they'd be like, when did Minecraft come out on? Fuck.
And
When
there's
did
like,
Minecraft Java
Bedrock
release
edition.
on this? And
Yeah.
when did Minecraft Bedrock release
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this?
if it's in the
Oh,
news.
man. Jesus. Too funny. But yes, thank you for the super chat.
It's a
That's it.
time in the show.
No, it's not. It's time to love our patrons a little bit more.
To love our patrons. What are you
Uh,
talking about?
One of the perks is that they get to ask community questions, and we love it when you do because some of them are patently ridiculous. We've got a few left because a lot of them were directed at Parris, so we're going to dive on those now. But if you want to feel the love of the Xbox Era crew and support your favorite Xbox focused publication, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. Like seriously, type it in your browsers now. This is I'm hypnotizing you. Type it into your browsers.
Wow,
now.
Didact Brew has already messaged me and I handed him 2 games because he was so quick.
Nice. Support us on Patreon. Allow the mega boost to come to fruition.
Is that the form or the forum, Nick?
Form. I'm warm for the form.
He is warm for the form.
Okay. our first community question, which is the greatest perk
For this segment.
of being a what?
The first community question of this segment. We already did a bunch.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the best perk of being a patron.
One of them.
Is community questions.
It's pretty good.
First one is from Grand Benefactor Assassin.
Bless him.
Hello to John, Nick, and Jesse. As someone who never tried Ninja Gaiden, holy balls, am I loving Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. While the camera is a bit janky for my taste, God, I said that on Twitter too, the overall action, feel, and violence of the game had me hooked. With so many people supposedly tired of Souls-like games, I'm seeing a lot of people overjoyed the hard action games like Ninja Gaiden and Onimusha are making comebacks. So to you fellas, I ask, are we going to see more action-based games come back? Maybe DMC. Lost Souls aside, looks good. Looks like a good one coming this year. Thanks, you guys, for all you do.
There's still been some
for helping us.
Like I can't remember some. There have been more actiony, less Souls playing games. I don't think Black Myth Wukong plays like Dark Souls. It just shares some of the way some mechanics work. So I do think there's still been a place for action first, not lock on, strafe, and roll combat of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I will say, when I first played Ninja Gaiden Black 2, because I've never played Ninja Gaiden 2, the camera kept fighting me. The camera is by far the worst aspect of the game. It is a camera from 2008, very much so. And when I saw that thread on how they built Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, I'm like, okay, so that's why the camera wasn't fixed. They just put an Unreal Engine skin over the top of the base C++ code from 2008. Or actually, I think it's Sigma. I think they actually did it over the top.
It's
of
over
Sigma.
Sigma.
Yeah.
Because Sigma's already ported to the current gen, so it's a lot less work to get everything going.
But it's very much the camera from 2008. If you can get over the camera part of it, then yes, it's great. I'm really enjoying it. And having played Black,
Nick, shut
someone
up.
said, I think...
Nick, shut up.
What?
Welcome, Matt Valdez, as the newest Xbox Era Patreon MVP.
Whoa. Love it. I appreciate you. Thanks for making it all possible. And that's not even sarcasm. Like, genuinely makes all the difference in the world. Like, we could not do what we do.
Immediately adding him to the banner.
Without our patrons. So, yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Yep. Thanks, mate.
Don't believe Johnny's a liar.
Having played Black in the past and now playing 2, I can see why 2 is considered the better game with all the extra weapons and the upgrades.
It's the gore and the visceralness of it. It's really good.
It is. It's cool. And there's a lot of depth to the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It is like a fighting game level of combo depth.
You find things that work and feel really good.
Yeah. It's such a great feeling title.
The only part I find isn't working great, and I don't know if it's me not doing it right, is counters. Counters I'm finding aren't spot on.
Yeah, I don't think like the counter system was like a hit them as you hit it as they attack parry thing. It was because it's holding the button and then pressing the button and then the animation starts. Like it's a little different on timing.
Yeah.
You have to be blocking, be hit, and then
that's right. Yeah. It's parry. Weird.
It's not it's not you stop them hitting you. It's you react to them hitting you.
Yeah, it's the counter system's not great, but I'm still enjoying myself, and of course it's hard as balls.
Yeah.
Next question. Where are we going here? Okay. Next question is from Omen. I have on my list. I have Omen on the form. I'm still on the form.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was saying hello to Matt on the Discord because he joined. That's the only reason I knew. Because fucking Streamlabs is completely broken and does not pull anything in anymore to let me know when people join. All right, got it.
Okay. Omen. So, Bethesda has released VR editions of both Skyrim and Fallout 4. Do you reckon they might release a VR version of Starfield at some point?
Hope so.
Probably.
I hope so.
Probably.
That'd be cool.
Let's be real. We're clearly going to get a PS5 port of Starfield, so it would make sense.
What?
It would make
Have
sense
you seen...
to. What?
the VR mod for Indiana Jones?
No.
Really good.
That would be good to use your whip. in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
eyes.
really good. Very cool.
Yeah, seems like a safe-ish bet. Bethesda Studios seem to enjoy porting to VR.
Skyrim
So-
VR's weak, but you can mod it to be really good. Fallout 4 works better because it's mostly guns. Still not the best. So I would hope if they do it better. Mwah!
Hey, Assassin. Thanks, mate.
Oh. Blimey, so much
Brick
love
got
tonight.
one.
Gifted memberships by Assassin.
Wow, no name, no name.
Interesting.
Butterball 8, but why is there two
And
people in a row?
Mav got one.
Hey.
Brick got one. Siddle, Butterball, and no name.
I like that it's Butterball
Got
8,
one.
Butterball 8, and then no name, no name. The two people with
Yeah.
the... Congratulations, thank you. Because as we've said to people recently, we are a small independent place, almost entirely funded by you guys, which is pretty much the only way anything like this can exist. So thank you. Unless we sell 8 trillion copies of Console Wars.
Be sure.
Shut
be
up.
Sure we'll be. Oh my
Gamsley.
god, what is this?
Another 5.
What the fuck, lads? I mean,
Foreman
I'm all
got
for
one.
it. There's so many good names grabbing these as well.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
look at
don't
that.
fight over doing more and more gifted subs, please.
Constantinos Pascal, Rip Snorter, Foreman, Joaquin Branch. Hey, Joaquin is here. Finally.
I mean,
jerk.
I heard
Juan-
that Assassin said that Gamsley couldn't possibly match him in sub count. That's
Yeah.
what I heard.
Called you a
Gamsley was like,
loser
"Yeah,
with
I
no
could."
money.
And you guys are all still many hundreds behind Torn Raptor, so you got to catch up.
Yeah.
Juan Antonio Escudero de Leon was also gifted one by Games.
I'm going to drop a little linky in the chat. I'm not saying go do this, but it is a thing if you ever want to in the future. You go to patreon.com/XboxEra/gift. You can actually gift Patreon memberships, which is pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Yep.
It gives you a
Oh,
link,
that's cool.
and people can
Great.
redeem it with that link.
Says Nick OnlyFans would do the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a Nick OnlyFans tier on the Patreon, I wouldn't have to work. I wouldn't have to work anymore. Just take photos and videos of myself doing sexy shit.
And it is funny because OnlyFans was not made to be focused on that. It was just meant
I know,
to
it
be.
wasn't meant for
It was meant to be
porn,
like
but it's turned
Patreon. It
into
was
a
meant to be
porn
Patreon.
platform.
Say prawn. YouTube doesn't like that word.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay, prawn.
That's it. Too late. Demonetized.
Nope.
Cancelled.
And now we're demonetized in South Africa because of calling the aliens from District 9 prawns again. They're trying to move past that.
Oh no. The next question is from JD. Shit, where is it? Okay. Hello, my lovely chaps. With that fantastic goddamn developer direct, we all know that certain leakers were just proven straight out wrong. But my question this week is Ethernet E3? That I assume that's a typo of some kind. I just don't know what the original word was meant to be. What
Another.
things do you think? The question this week is another E3.
Is this another E3 where everyone got it wrong?
He's saying it's
Maybe.
an online only shows. Yes.
Okay. Hey, Epic Treasures here. Flake. What thing do you think we actually will see there? I'm totally believing we're going to see Oblivion and more Fable. So at the Xbox showcase, I assume.
Oh, my question this week is maybe about E3. What things do you think
Yeah,
that we will see
something
there?
like
Yeah. Second
yeah,
half of the
I
year.
think-
Yeah. They got a lot.
Yep.
Silk Song for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Fable would make sense there, having the extended showcase slot.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
COD, clearly COD. We'll probably maybe see Ninja Gaiden again because it's for the fall game, so maybe we see a more extended look at Ninja Gaiden.
An actual date.
Just, I mean, if it's true, it is true. They said that it's been like 7 years building towards getting Ninja Gaiden 4 off the ground. My assumption is they're going to want to flood us with Ninja Gaiden 4 showings to really make the most of it. They're not just going to show it at the January showcase and it's like, see you in the fall. They're going to want to keep showing.
And the one Assassin just said, Persona 6. They've had everything Persona lately. No guarantee they get 6, but there's a chance. It definitely wouldn't be a Game Pass game. The Persona Game Pass deals were to get people into it, so they really want to buy stuff.
Yeah. I could see the marketing Persona 6.
Yeah, they've been they marketed the shit out of Metaphor Refantasize, and no one bought it on any other console because they all thought it was an Xbox exclusive. I heard.
Yeah, that's right. So it worked. And don't forget where you heard first that Persona 6 was going to come to Xbox when everyone thought it was going to be locked to PlayStation. Hey.
It hasn't come there yet. You might be wrong.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to be, but I mean, you could be.
I doubt it. What were we saying? Oh, yeah, well, we'll see. Gears E-Day, I would say, will be at the showcase.
I hope Clockwork Revolution. Clockwork Revolution with like a coming spring 2026 or whatever type of thing. I would really like to see more of that. Because it can be a mix, because I can keep talking because John's muted. It'll be a mix of they've got this second half of the year that's stacked. They'll probably have some Game Pass stuff. They'll have their EA or Ubisoft commitments because they like keeping their partners happy. Maybe they'd have Mafia or something because Take-Two does work with them on some stuff. I don't think they'd have Borderlands. They definitely wouldn't have GTA 6, but yeah.
I think we'll see Contraband this year.
God, you'd want to Everwild? Maybe we finally see Everwild.
They seem fully, that is what they are doing. With the state of Sea of Thieves right now, they definitely feel like everyone kind of moved to Everwild. But who knows?
God.
Assassin.
Well, yeah, there you go. Assassin Super Chat. Rare needs to rip the Everwild band-aid off this year. Yeah, for sure. Surely
see,
Everwild.
And nobody got Phil to talk about Everwild in these interviews. I didn't see anything. God damn it. Ask him about Everwild.
Yeah. How come there's no mention of Everwild anywhere with any
or
of
what Double Fine's doing?
That's the only downside of 2 interviews from Phil dropping pretty much within 4 days of each other is we all know the questions are going to be of the similar trend. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Destin's, but the Gamertag one was good.
Unfortunately, people have been stealing clips out of Destin's.
Yes,
and then just posting them online, which is a bit of a dick move for something that's hidden behind a paywall, basically.
Yeah, I know.
But they can get short clout because it's not like they make a fucking penny from it. That's what always kills me. Tom Henderson, like companies might hate him, but he's making money from it. You understand why he does it. I do not understand why random people just do it on social media other than like, Nick, why? Why do you do it?
Do what?
Just randomly post shit for meaningless clout. Doesn't even help.
What do I post?
On Twitter. 2 years ago, Ninja Gaiden being worked on.
Yeah, that's because I'm a leaker.
I know. Why?
I don't post other people's paywalled content
I know,
for engagement.
But you're posting stuff to hurt. It hurts devs and it makes them cry. You don't even get any money.
Doesn't. People got excited. What? Platinum on Ninja Gaiden? That's a perfect pairing.
They got so excited that no one said anything. They were all just sad and
No one
crying.
remembered anyway. No one saw it.
The people who did, the people who saw it were all so sad they just ended up not being online anymore. You hurt them. Why, Nick? Next question.
Whatever, man.
You didn't tell me who it is.
Pumped. People were pumped. Yeah, platinum on Ninja Gaiden. And then one guy was like,
never
strangely aggressive. That would never happen. They would never allow their most treasured IP to go to another developer. That's a ridiculous claim. And so many people were like just absolutely drilling that dude the other day.
Nick loves watching a dude get drilled.
Oh, yeah. More news, I love doing the drilling.
You don't like telling me what the next question is, though. You've given up.
No, it's because I was talking.
I know. But we're going right to it now.
What's the next question? Shit. Oh, God. Are we maybe...
I would love to be in charge of community questions again.
We're on.
That's why I don't like this split form thing.
Well, then we had it set up, and then you just got mad because John was trying to talk, and then you'd yell at him.
I guess we're going to the forum.
It's on the forum now. With let me take my headset off.
Yep. First question is coming from. Hytham G.
Before Hytham, though, we got to go back. We got a super chat from Grand Benefactor. That takes over all.
Super chat.
That means we have to reintroduce Hytham.
Yeah. I have a theory. John and XboxEra were not invited to the Avowed preview event because of Nick and Jez being leaker friends / rivals. Still waiting, John.
We know why.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It's all his fault for not living in America.
It's all taken care of. You know, like we're on the ball. You don't need to worry about what XboxEra does outside of we're going to bring you the best content we can.
Yeah.
Every time, baby.
I already put the picture back up. You don't have to reintroduce anything, or I will mute you.
Wait. Whose question are we taking? I forgot their name.
So back to.
I did mute you, so no one heard that.
The Direct is cool, but other than that, really, have you gents ever been to a local retro video game store or a big special retro video game store? You gents ever shopped before? Because I did pretty interestingly cool stuff and such, but have you all been there anyway? P.S. Have you ever heard of a YouTube channel or watched their video about retro video games called Rad Junk, where they're based in Florida?
I personally could not give less of a shit about retro video gaming, so no, I have never been to a retro video game store.
I go to them all the time, buy them.
I cannot keep up with current video gaming as a job. I'm not going to add old video games on top of that.
Nah, I do. I go to retro video game stores in Melbourne, and like
Florida's very big. Hytham.
Sometimes my brother will go past one and he'll ring me while he's there and he's like, they've got this game, this got this game. Do you want this game? Do you want me to grab this game? I love because sometimes there's games that I either wish I hadn't sold or games that I wish I always had and never bought them when they came out. And because I still keep some of my retro consoles, I love going past those places and find like my NES collection. A lot of it was built at this place called Savers. That's in Australia, where they just it's like a thrift shop called Savers, and I found a bunch of amazing NES games there. You know, like I got Sega Soccer Slam, which it's backwards compatible, I think, on 360, but not digitally, but disc it is. So I got it on OG Xbox, so I could play it on my 360.
So it's weird, like. I'm very similar to Jesse. I play old games when they were old. If they come out again and they've been updated, I might play them again. But it's very, very, very rare for me to go back in time.
Ooh, so to give an idea,
I do it a lot.
So I'm in this is not even close to me.
Savers is in the USA. Cool.
So I'm in this area around Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Lakeland. I'm like around here somewhere. They are 280, 303, probably about 350 miles away from me, because Florida is very big. So they're on the Panhandle, right up here on Fort Walton Beach. Holy shit! Yeah, they are extremely far. They're like Germany from John, almost.
Oh,
America's big.
It is.
Look how tiny little tiny England.
It's as big as Australia, man.
You could get to Paris or Florida if you travel as far as I have to go to get to Fort Walton Beach. Unless I got a speedboat like Miami Vice.
Gamsley has a super chat kind of related to what we've been doing. Grapefruit video PTSD. Thanks. Oh, what's that about?
Somebody banging a grapefruit?
Yeah, I'm assuming someone's fucking a grapefruit there.
Grapefruits are a Florida thing.
Like John's muted.
I'm not one to judge, Gamsley, but you watch and do what you want to do. All right.
Oh, I wonder what that would feel like. I reckon I've got the right size for a grapefruit too. Just the right size for it. I'm Greek. I'm not Italian. It's the Italians that are blessed in that way. Greeks aren't as lucky, unfortunately. Yes, I'm big on the retro video games, and I still play old games a lot. Love booting up Super Punch-Out, Donkey Kong Country, Streets of Rage 2, Virtual Fighter.
I had fun with that retro hangouts, but that's about my limit.
Yeah, Jesse and I just did a retro hangouts playing
exclusive for Patreon members.
Yeah, if you want to see that, take a trip.
It's the $6 and above tier for all of our video content. For anyone wondering.
Yeah,
or for all of our current video content. If we do something amazing, it'd be like the $700 tier.
This one, there was so many, and this one probably should have been read out while we were talking about this topic, but that's okay.
Me.
Didact 3. Howdy, gents. And finally, Parris is on. Great to see. Now, my question is about what do you guys think Microsoft can get away with in their first-party games on PlayStation? Will they advertise Game Pass somehow in them, like having little pop-ups promoting exclusive Game Pass skins via perks in there or achievement support? If Microsoft floods PlayStation with great games, will Sony be concerned that those games are taking engagement from their own games? Can that push Sony into going third-party too? P.S. I would love some Microsoft Rewards benefits being used, promoted outside of Xbox and PC, like having quests to play a Microsoft game on Switch or PlayStation, making new users from these platforms know the program, and also making Xbox users double/triple dip.
It would infuriate current Xbox users. They'd be very mad. Like, I don't have that shit. No, I can't get these 10 points.
Yeah. As long as it was just when you were logged into Xbox games, then it's the same diff, right?
I think Microsoft would love to advertise on other platforms. To me, the initial best way to do it is to force the Xbox login on those platforms. Kind of in a roundabout way, the way they did it with Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah.
So with Dungeons, you log in to your Xbox login on Switch or PlayStation, and it grabs your character and everything. I want that to be the norm.
Yeah,
I would double and triple dip more.
Yeah, I think they've done it with
publishers like Ubisoft and EA can have an account system.
Yep.
So can Microsoft. It's their fucking game.
They've done it with the online ones. They didn't do it like Pentiment and Hi-Fi because they're not online, which is the more PlayStation move. Though PlayStation seems to have low. I read something that PlayStation was allowing you to not need it on Helldivers 2 again, so that more countries could buy it because they're not everywhere. But for anything that's online, I think it will definitely be there by default.
Yeah, to answer the actual question, yeah, I think Sony will be very concerned to see more and more Microsoft first-party products taking top spots in their top 10 and top 20 games in terms of sales and revenue. Yes, they're taking 30% cut. Great for them. Microsoft are making 70% on their platform. They're going to be soaking up all the air. And you're talking about first-party platform holder games that are meant to be big games, right? Competing with your own first-party games and sucking up the air.
But I feel like the flip side of that coin is that it merely highlights the fact that you quote unquote don't need an Xbox, and you can just get it all on PlayStation.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Game Pass.
It is for the people that were never going to get one anyways.
I know. I'm just saying that. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
Well, the Project Runway thing, which Sydle brought up, which is every game has an in-game Xbox UI, essentially, which is like your friends list, your messages, your notifications for your Xbox account. That's this.
About that.
Shut up. Nope, don't get to talk. That is the stealth marketing. It's like, what if that in-game UI just has some advertisements about Xbox and stuff?
It's not a leak about that in-game UI per se. It's not a leak. I'll tell you after the show, but it's not a leak about that. But I'll explain later.
People get mad at us for not letting him do leaks about Xbox, but hey, you also all want Phil on. We're not Jez. We're not that big.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode.
The fuck are you watching?
What
John?
was that?
I foolishly...
You looked up the grapefruit thing? I'm going to ban grapefruit. There's a super chat about it.
Super chat. Yeah, Gamsley was right. I can't unhear it now. Please don't disgrace Hytham's name ever again, you sick man.
So banging a grapefruit sounds like when you do that Hytham thing. That would be my guess.
The choking
Yeah.
throat thing.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that sounds like...
It's a great noise in certain contexts, though.
Please stop. This is not okay.
There are certain contexts where that noise is fantastic to hear.
Stop it! Just stop it. You don't have to repeat it. Just that's the end. That's the end. Next question.
Final question.
Next question.
Last question too.
Great.
From a person in chat.
Yeah, and haven't had a
Just the last person to talk.
Haven't had a community question from this person in a long time. Sydle, also
they've just become
OG.
And they've just become
fairly
a
OG.
YouTube member as well.
Yes, they have at the start of the show, but they're also one of the OG patrons, I believe. Subject. Bringing back old IP and Dream Dev collabs. With Ninja Gaiden 4 on the way from Koei Tecmo and Platinum, thanks to Xbox Game Studios Publishing, is there an IP you would like to see make a return? Do you have a particular dev in mind that you believe could do it justice? I'll go first. Banjo by Moon Studios. Now, Sydle would be aware that we had Thomas Machela on in the past on our show, who said Moon would love to do Banjo. They'd love to do it.
He's been speaking about it on Twitter quite recently. Like, I would.
Oh, has he? I wouldn't know. He's blocked me.
Oh,
although now you can see. Now
you can see, but I don't know if you can follow
blocked people. You can now see blocked stuff. But yes, Thomas blocked me a while back. Yeah, Banjo by Moon. Depends on how they do it, I guess. We haven't really seen Moon do a full 3D game to know how they would handle 3D. We've seen them do a Diablo clone, and that is apparently...
I know you say we haven't seen them do a full 3D game, but Ori and the Will of the Wisp was full 3D in a 2D presentation.
No, I'm not talking about 3D graphics. I'm talking about 3D as in...
I know.
A 3D game.
No Rest for the Wicked
is still a 2D game.
No Rest for the Wicked's 3D.
I know, but it's isometric Diablo style. I'm talking about your full camera control, full 3D.
No, they're going to do an isometric third-person Banjo. What about
Banjo?
A new Ori story by Kojima Productions?
Well, if there is another Ori game on the way, and I'd like to believe there is.
I wish.
I wonder who would do it, because it wouldn't be Moon.
Yeah.
So I wonder who would do
Double
Ori
Fine.
3.
I'm kidding. They do their own stuff.
What would an Ori 3 be called?
What would it be about? Who would it star?
And the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, and Ori's dead.
Ori...
So who knows now? I killed him.
Ah, okay. Ori and... What's the main world of Ori called again?
Nibel.
Ori and something in Nibel.
Yep.
Maybe.
I'm going to mute you.
What do you mean?
You're very confrontational this evening, Jesse. Are you okay? Ever since Parris accidentally called you Jeremy, you've just been very, very bitter.
You know exactly why I just said that.
It?
No, you know exactly why I just said that.
I think look, the obvious choice for a Banjo would be Platonic. That would be the obvious choice, given their history with Rare and actually making Banjo themselves.
I think I'd like to see Phil Spencer's favorite ever Xbox game, Brute Force, by Double Fine.
No, Arrowhead. Brute Divers.
What Ninja Gaiden gives me hope for is, how about Phil reaches out to Capcom, just like they reached out to Koei Tecmo.
Lost Planet.
How about Phil reaches out to Capcom and says, "Hey Capcom, you know that game Power Stone, mate?
Always with the Power Stone dreams, bro.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. It was a Dreamcast classic. Let's bring back Power Stone, guys. Let's do it." But yes, Lost Planet is a good one too. Like. Yeah. Lost Planet with modern controls and modern sensibilities.
And like up-to-date snow deformation technology.
Yeah, and all that. And none of the silly, you're constantly cooling down, find heat. No. Just let me live in the world and let me play, please. Yeah, Lost Planet would be a good one. But I want it to be more like the original Lost Planet, not Lost Planet 3.
Yeah.
More like the OG. But yes, I think that would be good. What else? What else would we bring back?
Nick doesn't want the show to end.
He doesn't, does he?
I'm just answering the question, man.
I can't think of anything else.
See, Sydle, I'd take Lost Planet or Power Stone in a heartbeat. Fuck yeah.
We did not, Korkenstein. We ran out of time when doing other stuff. Unfortunately, we are trying to figure out. It's installed on everyone's machines. We will try and figure out a Patreon only Sea of Thieves stream for the new show called Thanks, I Hate It.
Yeah.
It's just going to be one of us playing something.
And it
we
would be a
don't
live
like.
stream. So
Yeah.
we'll let you know ahead of time. Super chat.
Assassin. Sorry. Xbox. Capcom. So I hear you have experience with dragons and badasses. Scalebound revival. Boom.
Nailed
I've
it.
got a DM about that one too.
Shut up.
Fucking hell. Why do you do
Oh
it?
boy. I've been
Why
getting a
did
lot
you
of
do it?
DMs lately. I'm just being more selective. and
You
staying a
need
bit
more spaghetti to
quiet.
throw at the wall, you mean?
Yeah. But yeah.
Hmm.
Oh boy.
These questions are always
yes.
one thing. It's like I got to go and look at dead IP. It's hard to remember
Yeah, I
right
know.
off the top of the head.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, people are like, "Oh, wait, what?" Well, remember, it was a rumor mill a couple of years or so ago when I was on holidays when I said I had heard that they're looking at working with Platinum to revive Scalebound. Having said that, Kamiya's gone, and that was
It was
Kamiya's
his dream
baby.
game. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
his baby. So if they were working with Platinum to revive Scalebound, I would make the assumption that that is now dead in the water because that was literally, it wasn't just Platinum, it was Kamiya's thing. It was his thing. I don't think anyone else at Platinum would be interested. in
I would love to
reviving
see a
that.
revival of Black and White.
Oh,
You want to
okay.
get Peter Molyneux
Yeah, I
back
think
off his
No.
crypto scams?
I don't need.
No.
It doesn't
Wait,
need. I don't need more.
allegedly.
But Captain Logan in the chat. Wait, are we doing Sea of Thieves? Yeah. Like the premise is with the new show that we're doing for Patreon members. So it's
Fan and
exclusive
above.
if you're a Patreon subscriber. Is we play games that one of us hates or dislikes immensely. So obviously, I'm going to be targeted with horror games. Fine, I will understand that. Nick doesn't like Sea of Thieves, so we're just going to take him for a little voyage and
Yeah.
3-player shenanigan co-op. So yeah, that's going to be our first episode.
Korkenstein worked on Black and White while at EA.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Didact 3, again, another rumor mill, was that I had heard Rise 2 was in the works.
And
a while
then
back.
all their stuff leaked and it was in there.
It was in there.
Yeah.
Man, I love a Rise 2.
Puppy.
The funny thing is that timeline that I have, everything on that timeline has appeared. And Rise 2 was the last thing on the timeline. That's the only thing left on that timeline that has not come out yet. Rise 2.
That's a great book.
Everything else is there. The VR games, the ports to other platforms, all of it is there. And Rise 2 is last. It's there at the end. I don't know. Oh, God, I'd love it so much. I'd love a Rise 2 so much. I was watching Gladiator 2 and I'm like, I want Rise 2 so bad. God, Rise was good.
Yeah.
So good.
All right.
That's it.
That's the
That's
last
the end of
question.
The show.
Indeed. Big thank you to the 200, 300 plus people that we had watching for the majority of the show.
It was over 400 and then YouTube broke.
Yeah.
We're still over 200, which is great.
I know. So many thanks for all of the support, the memberships, the fucking gifts, the super chats. You
Yep.
guys rock. There is a lot coming to XboxEra.com this week.
Your Monday morning
can
is
look
going to be
forward
really
to
full.
4 separate things going out tomorrow for stuff.
Not tomorrow. There's nothing tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday.
Oh no, Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Can't say what day.
Sorry, it's because it is tomorrow. I was looking
This
at the dates
week.
and I was like, it's the 27th. but
This week. There, that's all I can say.
yeah.
Thanks to Paris for jumping
Yeah,
on.
big thanks to Parris for coming on. It was really good to finally have him here. We've been trying for a while, and it's good that the schedule's lined up. And yeah, just don't forget, folks. In a few weeks' time, we're gonna have episode 250 rock around. We're gonna try to do some cool
Yep.
stuff for you guys.
It won't be like last year's or 200. That was crazy.
Yeah,
No.
it's gonna be
So we
all
had-
about
we-
you. It's gonna be all
We
about
had
you, community.
we had Phil on for 100. Then we tried to get Phil on for 200, and then someone ruined that. So that's when, again, fortunately, the beauty of me having so many great friends in this space is that I managed to get all those people jumping on and causing havoc on 200. Who knows what we've got planned for 250?
Who knows?
Planned
We'll probably
nothing.
tell you at some point.
Yeah.
We'll tell you at some point.
Thoughts, ideas, many plans, none.
Yeah. But other than that, have fun.
Mm.
Be good to each other. Play loads of
Okay.
video games because there's tons out there that are great.
Mhm.
And we'll see you next time.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
You let me let you. You let me desecrate you. You let me penetrate you. You let me complicate you. Help me, I broke apart my insides. Help me, I've got no soul to sell. Help me, the only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I wanna love you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside. I wanna love you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God. You can have my isolation. You can have the hate that it brings. You can have my absence of faith. You can have my everything. You get me closer to God. You can have my isolation. You can have the hate that it brings. You can have my absence of faith. You can have my everything. Help me. You tear down my reason. Help me. It's your sex I can smell. Help me. You made me perfect. Help me become somebody else. I wanna love you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside. I wanna love you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God. Through every forest, above the trees, within my stomach, scraped off my knees. I drink the honey inside your heart. You are the reason I stay alive. Through every forest, above the trees, within my stomach, scraped off my knees. I drink the honey inside your heart. You are the reason I stay alive. Oh, man, I see. Somehow it always seems that I'm dreaming of something I can never be. It doesn't matter to me, 'cause I will always be I see in all of my fantasies. I don't know your fudging name, so what? Let's screwing might be the only way that I can truly be free from my fudged up reality. So I dream and stroke it harder, 'cause it's so fun to see.